You man thought All Out Sports Talk was going anywhere? Nope, it's still here. Welcome back to another All Out Sports Talk. International break, we got nothing to do, so you might as well do another All Out Sports Talk podcast. I guess, yeah, welcome back, bro. Hope you're doing good, my guy. We got
Big
lots to
up, yeah.
discuss, lots to talk, man. Today, NBA playoffs is just around the corner, international break, Premier League, Champions League, all the good stuff, man. Since it's international break and the final one of the season, we might as well get it all underway. But we're doing this every single month, people, and every single, month to discuss the football, all the sports that we do on the channel. Obviously, F1 is tomorrow, so don't expect any F1 content today on this show because tomorrow we're doing the F1 season, not season preview, but we're doing the F1 Japan Grand Prix preview tomorrow, and then on Sunday the review. And then another F1 show will be happening sometime later, I think in April, because obviously there is a huge break in Formula One, so we are going to do another Formula One show regarding that. But Augustia, anyways, my guy, hope you're doing good. Hope you're blessed.
Yeah, big up the people, big up Ekavin. Nice to be back. Ekavin, as you said, you thought we're dead. We're not dead. It's not Easter, but we didn't need a second coming to rise from the dead. We're here.
Yep.
So big up everyone. It's a pleasure to be back. And look, we are 2 months. We are 2 months away from having a summer with no sleep. Guys, think about it. We have the World Cup. We have the NBA playoffs. We have the French Open and Wimbledon. And we have F1. No sleep. Be ready for that. Everyone, get your sleep in. Go into hibernation mode over the next 2 months. Wake up when United play. Wake up when the big matches are happening. Until then, head to bed. Set your alarm. Don't miss anything because everything will be on our plate come the summer. But until then, Kevin, nice to be back with you. We got some fun to deal with till the end of the year. Obviously, United looking a lot better. Some hiccups recently, but overall, we still look best of the rest outside of City and Arsenal. And then obviously with the NBA heating up, NBA awards season, controversy, the lottery system. Did the NBA adopt our legendary lottery proposal to solve all the core problems, or have they just symptomatically destroyed the league even more? And then, of course, international break, World Cup qualifiers, World Cup predictions. You know the drill. Ekavin, nice to be back.
Of course, man. And we love doing these shows. We love discussing sports. We love discussing, everything regarding, Man United, Premier League, and all the good stuff, man. NBA as well, F1. Obviously, F1 will not be in today's show, like I said, but then we will discuss F1 in the future shows. Regarding even tennis, we might get a bit of tennis. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, let's get started. Obviously, Man United. Augustia, obviously, you and I both support Man United. We'll quickly discuss Man United. We won't spend too long on the football club because obviously we did talk about it in more detail last time. This time, not really much. But obviously, the results have been good after the last time we did the show. We did since the last time we did the show, we beat, what was it? We came back. We beat Everton 1-0. We beat Crystal Palace. What was it 2-1? And then we lost to Newcastle.
It's been a bit rocky actually since the last time we did the show.
And then we beat Aston Villa 3-1.
But we drew to Bournemouth.
We drew to Bournemouth
So
with
one win, 4 points from 9, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss.
Yeah, man. Very, very poor refereeing decision against Bournemouth, man, the other day. I'll be real. We got completely robbed. Like that day. That was one of the worst robberies I've seen in recent time watching Man United. Albeit, I did, people. I just want to quickly say, I don't want to make this show about myself. I don't want to make this segment about myself yet. But the next day I did the show regarding the United game against Bournemouth. I had some few idiots come into my chat, right? And they were talking all of a sudden. They were telling me to have some class about Man United. Have some class because Man United have been, the referee was in their back pocket during what? I've hardly spoken with the referee the whole show. I did speak about it at the start, but not much during the show. At the end of the day, I'm a United fan, and I do have class. I've been supporting the football club since 2009, right? I've been seeing the football club win trophies, win big matches. So, to tell me to have some class as a rival fan is the irony, because then once Liverpool got robbed the next day, everyone was complaining. So, but yeah, that's all I want to say about myself. I don't want to make the segment about myself, but there you go. If there's people coming into my chat disrespecting me, my guests, or anyone, it's blocked. The block button is going to be clicked right away, straight. You're not going to you're not going to be on the channel no more, and that's that, people. You know what I mean? It's plain and
Yeah.
simple. Keep it respectful around here. It's always respect. Respect goes both ways. If you want to come into the chat and give your unbiased views and give, fair analysis and respect all of us, fair enough. I don't mind. It. You can come into the chat, be respectful, and keep it on a ground level. If you're going to come to the chat and tell people to have some class and be disrespectful towards my guests, I'll call you out and block you straight away. Plain and simple. But sorry, man, you want to say something? I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No. I agree with you, Ekavin. And again, to anyone in the chat, you heard him. You heard the man. You heard the boss over here. He's not lying. He will be Victor Wembanyama, Sergio Ramos, and Paolo Maldini on steroids. That's what Ekavin will be. And you don't want the smoke. Trust me, you don't want that smoke, guys. But coming on to United, I agree with you, Ekavin. Results have been a bit rockier, and you're not making an excuse. As a matter of fact, it is an objective fact. Thierry Henry, when an establishment pundit, and Thierry Henry is a very good pundit relative to most people. I mean, he's beyond intellectual and also very philosophical with his footballing analysis. When Thierry Henry outright declares that Man United got robbed in a game against a side that is not on our parallel, that speaks volumes. That says something. So, of course, some of the decisions there, I don't need to talk about them. Ekman doesn't need to talk about them. Even Stevie Wonder could see them. United were robbed in that game. But at the same time, two things can be true, guys. Yes, we may have been shafted. Yes, we may have been deprived of a fully meriting game by the referees. At the same time, were we perfect? Did we make some mistakes? Yeah, we made some mistakes. No, we weren't perfect. The game was more end-to-end than we should have liked. But at the same time, to play devil's advocate, right, the double-edged sword, we're playing with a lot more freedom. Right, look at Amram. We felt so tight. We felt so rigid. We felt like a tennis player who lacks confidence, that lacks fluidity, that lacks coherence on all fronts. Whereas Ekavin, today, every time we play with Michael Carrick, regardless of the result, even if it's an end-to-end game, even if it's a basketball match, or it is just one-way domination, still, we are playing with more freedom. We are playing with more fluidity. We are very creative within tight spaces. And of course, that is championed and that energy is channeled by none other than the Portuguese Magnifico himself, Bruno Fernandes. Man,
yep.
I'm gonna have a moment of silence, not in a negative way. Silence for everyone who plays him, because he is literally mauling and murdering his opponents. Some of the not just the performances, but the passes he's made this season, the best I've ever seen. I mean, he has been beyond visionary. And we had this discussion in the chat, you, me, and Josh. I know we may be on a different level in terms of this. I genuinely think, in terms of pure technical ability, Bruno Fernandes is one of the greatest midfielders in the Premier League has ever seen. He's also one of the greatest midfielders United has ever seen. Of course, achievements. He lags the Premier League titles. He lags the Champions League titles. I get that. But if we're strictly talking the attribute of technical ability, I know Boss of Blue will also align with this trumpet. I think Bruno Fernandes is the trump card of them all. I mean, 100, right? 100 goals, 100 assists. I think he's, the third player in United's history to have that, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't he the third player to have 100 goals and 100 assists with us? Ryan Giggs is one of them.
I think so, yeah.
Ryan Giggs and Rooney, I think, are the only ones outside of him. And then, of course, I think this season, it doesn't seem like a challenge. It just seems like a foregone conclusion. It seems foreshadowing and inevitable that Bruno Fernandes, Ekavin, he will break the record for most assists in a single Premier League season. It's looking very likely with the fixture list we have. And I would love for him to break that record on May the 3rd when we face Liverpool at Old Trafford. I would love for him to break the record then, because that would just be beautiful.
Exactly what I said. It'd be poetic to see us, to see him break the record against our biggest rivals.
Preach.
That'll be a great game to obviously see it happen against. Because obviously we've seen Salah break records. We've seen such and such happen against Man United. I want to see Man United have their own player break the record. And Joe's so good about it. It's the fact that he's a United player and that's doing it. It's not a Liverpool player. It's not a Chelsea player. It's not an Arsenal player, a City player. It's a Man United player breaking the record. And I hope to God that it happens very soon. Because I need this Bruno Fernandes going into next season. I need this exact Bruno Fernandes going into next season. He might not be amazing to watch on the eye in terms of like overall footballer, like just techie like skills and all that. Sure. However, if he's providing the goals, if he's providing the assists, and he's giving you what your team needs to win games and going forward, I don't think you can complain much. You know, I've had my recent issues with Bruno Fernandes in the past because obviously I've talked about, you know, the way he's been playing and, you know, how he's approached games, the way he's been, you know, making wrong passes, turning the ball over like it's nothing. I've had my issues, but now, when you're watching this Bruno Fernandes, he's keeping it simple. He's keeping himself grounded. He's keeping himself at a level where he should be at, playing for a big club at Man United. You should be winning games like this, dictating games, dictating the play, and that's what he's doing. I don't need that techie Bruno Fernandes like all that. I don't need that skillful Bruno Fernandes. I just need someone that can provide my team with the goals and chip in as an overall player. I don't need Bruno Fernandes to be that, you know, skillful footballer. I don't. I just need goals and I need results. And if he's helping us get results, I'm not going to complain. Yes, I've had my recent stances on Bruno Fernandes, and I've had a recent share of issues. But you know what? I've made myself clear. If you can help me win, if you help my team win games, I'm not gonna hate it. I'm not gonna knock it. So that's just what I'm gonna say, and I hope he breaks the record very soon, man. He deserves it. He's been on fire this season. Been on top of his game. Been playing out of position many times, and he's gotten the output. So fair play. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah, dude, I'm wholeheartedly with you. I agree. Preach everything you said, and I agree. I think Bruno Fernandes is, at least this season, he has been so captivating and appealing to watch on the eye. The passes he's made has been generational, like beyond sensational. He's been connecting United, carrying that ball from literally nothing. He turns nothing into everything. Like it is beyond. It's orgasmic. I don't use that word in a funny way. I mean it fully. It is like orgasmic. It is erotic football. It is super, super impressive. And yeah, I mean, objectively, Eckerman, like you said, even if you don't like watching Bruno Fernandes, and the problem that people have with him is efficiency, right? Because for every pass that he makes that is otherworldly, sometimes there is a negative to it, right? He loses the ball. The hero ball critique that so many people over so many years, especially yourself, that hero ball critique has been quite heretic to Bruno Fernandes' entire play. But this season, he's shored that up more than ever. And as Eckerman said, the bread and butter, the bottom line, the output, the numbers are irrefutable. You can't escape the numbers. This season, Bruno Fernandes, objectively, has been the greatest playmaker in the history of Manchester United's Premier League ever. That's like an objective fact. And that is a crazy thing to say, given the fact that he is in a team that isn't a treble-winning team. He isn't in a Sir Alex Ferguson team. He is in a Man United team, in their worst season ever in terms of solidarity, right? Yes, we have new half owners in Ineos, but they have only consolidated the Glazer gridlock even more, right? It's nothing has changed. We still are a pay-to-win football club. We are still being leached every cent and penny off. But Bruno Fernandes, despite the uncertainty, from being very petulant as a leader last year to very, very precise as a legendary playmaker, full respect to him. A very good season, Ekvin. You said you need him for next season. I think you need him in 2 months' time. You need him in America. You need him in New York. You need him in the MetLife Stadium. You need him to show up for Portugal. And who knows, maybe he can be one of the key players alongside Nuno Mendes, alongside Vitinha. Am I forgetting someone? I think I am. I think I'm forgetting someone. Numero 7. Even him? Yeah. Please. You never know. Portugal, you never know. Don't write them off from the World Cup. Yeah.
Of course. And we'll discuss the World Cup as we go, because don't worry, guys. There's gonna be some content over the World Cup before, and we're gonna be locked into this channel. We're gonna be we're gonna be completely on the content, man. All good people, and make sure you guys stay locked in and subscribe if you're new around here. I did forget to mention that I'm 28 subscribers now to 600. We're getting ever so closer. And if you haven't checked my latest video out, guys, that was an absolute banger, wasn't it, Augustia? Like, honestly, I didn't think that it would just go like hit that number of views just like that, and the amount of likes was just crazy. I didn't think anything of that, and you know what? Sometimes you just have to post it. You just never know what you could get, especially with the all-time with the starting five I did. I'm not gonna say what. I'm not gonna say who I got, but if you want to go and check it out, people, that was an absolute banger. And not only that, make sure you guys turn your notification bell so you don't miss an upload, because I will be uploading more of those clips. Don't worry, not just starting five, but I'll be doing more and more content over other sports. So Formula One, NBA, we have it all covered here. And approaching the World Cup, I'm planning to do an all-time starting 11 for every single World Cup country that's participating in the World Cup. So I'm waiting for all the teams to qualify, and then once that's happened, I'll be on the content straight away. So yes, I did a Portugal all-time 11. I'll be redoing it again. Uploading more and more content before the World Cup. So guys, the goal is to hit 1K before the World Cup. We're almost at 600. We'll be 400 before the World Cup. We just need to keep on going. So how to keep on going? Hit the like button. Engage with us. Subscribe if you're new around here. Also, like I said, turn your notification bell so you don't miss an upload and you don't miss a live. Because me and Augusty are going to be going live a lot during the World Cup. Like, there's Formula One. There's going to be a lot of content during the World Cup, guys. Like I said, probably the best month or the best, I'd say, best times, hopefully.
Best summer this decade for sure.
Fingers crossed.
This will be the best summer since, at the very worst, since 2018.
And don't forget, transfer window content, obviously that'll be done as well. So Augusty and I will have it covered. And if you want to see more, NBA playoffs is around the corner. So we'll be previewing the playoffs. We'll be previewing everything as we go. But yeah, guys. But anyway, Augusty, let's continue. Obviously, Man United. We did speak about that already. But by the end of the day, I'll ask you this question: do you think we finish in the Champions League places?
100%. I mean, of course, there's a crazy scenario where the Premier League might have 7 Champions League places. I don't think that will happen. I don't think Liverpool win the Champions League at all. And Villa, who knows what happens in the Europa League? They probably win it. But I think, we will finish the Champions League. We just seem far more, despite the last 3 games, 4 from a maximum 9 points, we just seem the most reliable among all the teams. Chelsea and Liverpool both seem to be fighting for who is worst of the best of the rest, because they both have been appalling. Some performances have been very erratic. They have been getting some horrendous results as well that I just don't think we have. In every single game we play, even our worst games, we are very competitive. We are very fluid. We are very free. And we are always 2 passes away from winning a game. Whereas Liverpool-Chelsea, it just seems a little bit more restricted. So yeah, I think that we do finish top 4. I think there is a chance we finish in the top 3 as well. So that is my prediction.
Oh yeah, I'm with you, man. I hopefully you finish it as well as we possibly can. Obviously, the other day we did talk about the Bournemouth game. We did get robbed, kind of. So we could have been 4 behind City. Obviously, with them playing the Carabao Cup final. And we will talk about the Premier League just real quick, because we do have Champions League to talk about. We do have Premier League to talk about. We're going to talk about the rest of the league in terms of Newcastle, Tottenham, maybe even Sunderland. I'll even add Sunderland into the mix, and certain situations around the league. We'll discuss all that. Champions League, we'll discuss, the quarterfinals. We'll discuss everything around that. Just before we get on to that, big up to my brother Steve over here. Hope you're doing good, my guy. Hi guys, hope you're well. Sorry about the day I was drunk, having a bad with the Arsenal fans that City beat them. I think it was happy. Great show, guys. No, Steve, don't apologize, mate. Don't apologize. You're good, man. It was good banter at the end of the day. I'm happy you threw it out there. It's all good, man. For real. Don't worry about it, man. Don't have to apologize. But big up to you, man. Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're blessed. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great week. And yeah, United shows are back very, very soon, people. Don't worry. I was gonna do United show today, but I wasn't free at the end of the day. So don't worry. I think we'll be doing a solo live on United very, very soon, discussing the rest of the stuff. Big up Bush Baptiste. We're doing well, my guy. It's been a very long time, though. It's been a very long time, man. Hope you're doing good, my guy. Don't worry. I've forgotten you. You're one of the OGs of this channel and this panel, man. On this chat. Big up to you, my guy. Sorry, I got to say. What were you saying?
Now, I was going to say, Stay, if you made that Arsenal fan not happy, you did the right thing. Like, that's a W on you. So you did the right thing. Don't be ashamed of it. Be proud of it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all good, man. It's all good. Don't worry, Steve. I apologize. But yeah, anyways, we'll continue on United. Actually, no, we finished United, I think. We'll get to the rest of the
UCL now, right?
Yeah, no. We'll get to the rest of the Premier League. So I was going to ask you about Tottenham, Newcastle. I might even throw Sunderland into the mix, and also the Champions League races and the title race.
I need to rewatch this. What stream was this?
It was the recent Premier League show where Josh was ranting about Arsenal.
Oh, it was Josh? Even better. I will be there. Thank you for that, Stay. Thank you.
If anyone doesn't know, Augustia and Josh were in the same university, so that's how I knew Josh. So big up to this guy right here. Yeah, it's how Josh made his appearance on AIN Sports. Big up to you for that.
Very generous, but big up to you for providing the opportunity. Big up
to you for offering. Big up to you for offering. Always, man. No, but anyways, we'll get to the Premier League now. Title race. Well, that's what we'll go to first. Arsenal, Man City. Obviously, City did just win the Carabao Cup. City beat Arsenal beat them 2-0. But the gap right now is 9 points. It's how'd you say it? It's still within reach. I mean, City do have a game in hand. It's not over till it's over. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not completely finished. We still have a whole like 8 games left. I think 7 games left for some, but 7 games for majority. 8 games left for City, I think. So still play against Palace. Still got to play against Palace in that game in hand. Depending on when that game in hand is, don't forget, right around the corner is City versus Arsenal at the Etihad. So that could be a huge, huge week for the title race. What the result is, that will determine who wins the league, in my opinion. If that results City win and City win their game in hand, it's 3 points. So it's not over till it's over. But I'm just gonna say this: I personally think Arsenal will win the league. I think Arsenal will have just about enough to get over the line. I just think that the season is a bit different. It's a bit different on Man City side. Yes, they won the Carabao Cup. Yes, they did. Yes, they do have the mental edge in terms of mentality, getting over the line. They're the first team to get over the line this season in terms of what they've won already, trophies available wise. But at the moment, as things stand, it's still advantage Arsenal. However, like I said, it's still a game in hand, and they still have to meet each other at Etihad. But what do you think about the title race so far? I want to ask you on that one because it is getting to the wire. Sorry, go on.
Nottingham Forest and West Ham. I'm not just saying Nottingham Forest because they have more Champions League than Man City. That is not why I'm mentioning them. I am mentioning them because those 2 games. I think those 2 games and then the Carabao Cup, they reflect City's season. I think against Arsenal at the Etihad, I expect them to win. I said they'd win the Carabao Cup. But despite that, I still think Arsenal will go on to win the league just because City, they've been in a bit of a transitional phase. Transitional in terms of a style of play phase, transitional in terms of a staff phase, transitioning in terms of a squad phase as well. The guys like Semenyo, Mark Gahey coming into the team. But I just think they are so much more error-prone across a 38-game season compared to Arsenal. I think Arsenal can take care of the teams they need to beat more than City can beat. So I think that is why Arsenal will follow through. Justin, I appreciate the praise. I appreciate the truth. But look, we'll see you next season for sure. Trust me, next season, if auction's anything to go by, you will be there. But to come back to Arsenal and City, yeah, exactly. That's the point. And I struggle to see a world where with 5 wins needed, Arsenal won't get that. They have room to fail. They have room to fall. Previously, they didn't, right? Previously, they were fighting the City teams, the behemoth, the best City teams ever, the teams that could win 10 games straight, that looked unbeatable. Not just from a result standpoint, but also performance standpoint. But even this season, even their performances haven't been the most commanding, haven't been the most dominant. I mean, the Carabao Cup was a very dominant performance. After the first 15 minutes, City just commanded that. But a lot of that was due to Arsenal just lacking that confidence, making some of the most foolish, amateur, rookie mistakes. You talk about the lineup Arteta put out. You talk about the subs, or the lack of subs, not even playing Max Dowman. So I think just in general, City, even though they aren't in the Champions League, I think that also is another reason, like I think Josh made the point as well, another reason that hurts them. Because City are such a robotic side. They aren't about personality. They aren't about creativity. Even though this time around we are seeing a lot more expression from City players, I think not having the Champions League is kind of dysregulating their system. Them just getting win after win after win. Business as usual, their routine, their habit is just a lot more volatility. So, yeah, I agree with Monkey D. Luffy. I know it's a fact, but it's also a fact that a prediction. I think 5 wins for Arsenal, they'll get the job done.
Yeah, it should be almost done. I want to ask you a question though. Actually, let me get to the comments again real quick just to see it. It's all fun. It's 100%. It's all fun and games, man. Don't worry. It's all bad at the end of the day, man. Don't stress about it, bro. I live outside of London, and the thing is, in Wales, where I live, there isn't one Arsenal fan. Start off. Yeah, I remember you told me you lived in Wales, but at the end of the day, I mean, Arsenal fans in Wales, I don't obviously not much compared to obviously Arsenal fans outside of in Asia over here. There's a lot of Arsenal fans, but over here the Arsenal fans in Asia, they're not really like you know high volume like how do you say it? They're not really annoying. That's how you put it. The Arsenal fans in Thailand, they're not as loud and annoying. You know what I'm trying to say? That's how I put it.
They're a
In terms-
minority.
Yeah, they're the minority in Thailand. Like it's United Liverpool takeover pretty much. Like it's just us two, and this is why you can never want Liverpool to win the league in Thailand, bro. They'll go on bus parades around the city. When they won the league, they went on a whole bus parade. The whole
Guys, it's shithousery on steroids. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, bro. And shout out to Indian Scouser here. Make sure you guys subscribe to Indian Scouser. He was on the bus parade. He was there. It just tells you everything you need to know. It's United versus Liverpool in this country. You know? So I could never want Liverpool to win anything. And that's not a shade of you, Bush Baptiste. I know you're a Liverpool fan, bro, but it's just the rivalry in Thailand is different. Like it hits different. On United Liverpool days, like the rivalry is just like it's something else. You see these two teams like they're watching at parties, like one team's taunting the other and the other's making fun of the other. Well, season after season after season. You know, especially when the United Liverpool game in Thailand, like Augusty and I went to the game. You saw how big of you saw how a turn up, like especially the times of it as well. You saw the turn up of it, like it was a huge event, and obviously United ended up winning 4-0. And that was a great thing, you know. And they did the United Liverpool Legends in Thailand as well. So this is what I mean. Thailand's a great destination for these two teams. Why? It's because it's a huge target for these two fans. But this is what I mean. Like I hear you, Bush Baptiste. Like the location also that matters. Is because obviously, like I said, you live in Wales. You support Liverpool. I'm sure there are Arsenal fans there, but to the extent whereas if you live in, for example, like India or like a China or like Singapore, for example, there's Arsenal fans everywhere over there, right? But if you live in, like, for example, like Wales, or for example, like for example, if you live in like Mexico, if you lived in, like, for example, or like Germany, you wouldn't see that amount of Arsenal fans there. It would be less because they all be supporting pretty much a lot of their leagues. A lot of Cardiff City fans in Wales, maybe a lot of like United fans over there, Wrexham fans. You know, Wrexham's starting to grow as a club as well. So yeah, man. But that's just my explanation on that. I don't know if you guys all agree. But like I said, you agree as well. Also, however good they are, so on that we're going to tell you. Salute for the winner of the cup. Yeah, bro, 100%. Bro.
Touche, man.
You should never start your second keeper in a cup final. Never ever do that. I know City did that with James Trafford, but James Trafford played a few games at the start of the season before Donnarumma came in. Don't forget, right? James Trafford actually played a few games before Donnarumma signed. But with Kepa, he's only played the cup games. And look what Real Madrid did 2 years ago. And I'll let you continue after this discussion. Yeah. Real Madrid
go on.
2 years ago, what they did was they played Andre Lunin because Courtois was out injured. Once Courtois came back, he started in the final straight away, though without barely any knockout games. So you always start your best keeper in the final, because there was a debate between who starts, Lunin or Courtois. It's always Courtois. You start your best keeper in the final. There's no debate whatsoever, in my opinion. You know, Arsenal did the wrong thing. They started Kepa. Kepa bottled how many Carabao Cup finals now with Chelsea? You know, it's a joke. I don't understand. Like you don't play your second string keeper in the final. Yes, there's a clause or whatnot in this contract that he has to start certain games. But sometimes you just, as a football club, you have to throw you have to take the risk.
Take the fine.
Take the fine, exactly. Take the hit, bro. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, Steve. Talk about the World Cup playoffs yesterday. We are. It's all in this. Don't worry, it's all in this. Arsenal fans having a parade in time this season. Yeah, but there's not many of them.
Look, Monkey D. Luffy, it'll be as loud as a funeral. You're not going to notice it, man.
Pretty much. In domestic cups, they usually play the second keeper, but they shouldn't.
No,
but they should. In the final.
When you say, but Monkey D. Luffy, when you say usually, I don't want to interject, Ekavin. When you say usually, you're talking to teams that are like unparalleled, teams that have unmatched history, that are already winning that repeatedly, like City in the Carabao Cup. It's their tournament, right? That's why it makes sense. They're accustomed to it. But aside, like Newcastle, they played Nick Pope, right? They played Nick Pope in the cup last year. They didn't play their backup. So, frankly, Boss Labu, big up. You should like see the beginning. we showered praise onto Bruno Fernandes. Like we heralded him as like the greatest man to ever walk on the face of the earth. So big up Boss the Blue. But Monkey D. Luffy, Arsenal aren't that team. With all due respect, they may win the Premier League this season, but they ain't that team. Arteta is trying to chase the fairy tale. Second keeper win, give it to merit, give it to the guys that, got us here against the weaker opponents. But the truth is, you're playing against City. It's their tournament. It's their domain. It's their kingdom. Pep in a big game, in a final. I understand it's been some shaky times recently. It's still Pep Guardiola. They still have his DNA. This City team is very, very strong on any given day. So, again, what Arteta did, especially as the game progressed, when Arsenal lost control, not trying to disrupt momentum, not trying to regain the balance of play, not bringing on the subs, guys like Max Dowman on at all. Yeah, Arteta committed crimes against humanity then. So, look, I feel bad for Arsenal fans, but they will get the league wrapped up, and I agree with you. They should not have played Kepa. They should have played David Raya.
Don't you hear False Fernandes? This is the middle name for my firstborn. Hey, listen. That'd be nice.
I hope Bruno is the first name, possibly.
Yeah, it should be Bruno, isn't it? It should be Bruno.
It has to be.
I'll ask you a question. I was going to actually ask you earlier, but I forgot to ask you just now. What was more outrageous? Mikel Arteta starting, bring on Gabriel Jesus, or leaving Max Dowman out? Because Calafiori came on. That could have been the Max Dowman sub with him and Jesus on the pitch. What do you think? What do you think? What was more outrageous? Him not playing Max Dowman, or him bringing Gabriel Jesus on?
I thought even beyond that, it was those. Oh, big up Bossa Blue. That is legendary from you. Takes one with good taste to know one. So big up to you. And on your Arsenal question, I think both problems are a symptom of a deeper root. Arteta was just not proactive. He was just not gunning for that trophy no matter what. He was way too passive. He was allowing City to control the game. He allowed them to control the game because Arsenal came out of the gates. Those 15 minutes, they put City under a lot of pressure. But then afterwards, it was attack after attack after attack. Passage play, everyone. The entire City, the front six of Cities, from Semenyo to Doku, everybody was having their own fun in that game. He doesn't want to risk playing Dowman, but he had to. I mean, I think the only argument against not playing Max Dowman is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it was completely broke. Arsenal were distributed. And in terms of the subs he brought on Ekavin, it was too late. If you were going to bring on those players, you had to bring them on like 50 minutes in the game. When City had taken control. I get, fine, halftime might be too early. But 55 minutes in, momentum hadn't changed. It had only gotten worse. You were getting hammered on. You were getting pounded on completely. But you didn't do anything for another 20 minutes, and City went up 2-0, and it was game over.
And he brings on Calafiori as well.
Yeah.
Like, what's that supposed? How's that supposed to help? Like, you bring on Calafiori and then you expecting it to work. Like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get what he's trying to do. I just don't understand why he made that mistake. Like, look, if City don't score the first goal with Kepa's mistake, if Kepa doesn't make that mistake, I think that would have been the right time to make the sub and to really get into the game. Because that 1-0 or that almost mistake by Kepa. Oh, sorry. If Kepa hadn't made that mistake and he punched the ball away, that could have been a wake-up call. That City were piling up. They were piling it on, and they were getting closer to a goal. But then the fact that City scored, that should have been the time when Arteta made the substitution. Instead of bringing on Calafiori, you bring on Max Dowman, someone who could have changed the game for you, someone who changed the game someone who changed the game for them against Everton. Like, think about it. That Everton game, when Max Dowman came on, they were 2-0. It was 0-0 up until the 90th minute. Then they got the first goal, and then Max Dowman scored the sealer. He changed the game with that pass, and someone played a cross goal, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, risky, like, bro, you gotta throw everything in a cup final. I don't care, young or not. He's Max Dowman. He's got the potential. He can easily play in those minutes. You know what I mean? Calafiori attacks better than Hincapié. Hincapié is not a ball player.
But remember, Monkey Luffy, it's not Calafiori versus Hincapié. There is Max Dowman on the bench. There are other options out there as well. Those aren't the only two options as well. Arteta can do a million different things, and I get you said he doesn't want to take a risk, but unfortunately, those who reign supreme have to take the biggest risks. Arteta was sitting there on the timeline, waiting for God to come and save him. It didn't work. Man, you got to get yourself to God. You got to save yourself, man. And I think that was the problem with what Arsenal did. It was just so passive. It was frustrating to watch. It was funny at times, some of the mistakes they were making out of the back as well. City, of course, City's press, but still, it was Arsenal making a lot of unforced errors, simple passes. They looked like Jack Nicholson from The Shining was there. It looked like a serial killer was out there to get Arsenal. They looked shit scared, like babies who had never been there. That's why exactly you have to play your best team. You have to stick to what you're doing, but also take risks in terms of form. When it's not going right, you have to change quickly and immediately. It's not about sentiment, man, but unfortunately, they didn't do that. And the best thing Arsenal need is, again, they're lucky they're first. If they weren't first, Arteta would probably be sacked, and deservedly so, right? If they weren't first, Ekovin, if they weren't in a title race, I think they'd probably sack him after that final because it was a sackable performance. His managerial performance alone was indefensible. But they're first, and they better learn from those mistakes. Do what they've done all season. Win 5 games against teams that are very winnable. And again, all this will be put into the distance again.
I hear you, but I don't think they've sacked him because you know what it is for Arsenal? All they care about is getting back into the Champions League. And that's what everyone's cared about, to be honest with you. As long as Arsenal are in the Champions League every single season, they don't care. And that's why they took so long to sack Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger left because he didn't finish in the Champions League for 2 years in a row, right? Unai Emery got sacked because he was slowly falling off the pecking order in the Champions League. He wasn't going to get the Champions League. Arteta came. Yes, a few seasons he made Europa League, but then what happened the next time? He got into the Champions League in one of the years he challenged for the Premier League title, right? So this is what I'm trying to say. In the first season he competed for the league, was 22-23. He got back into the Champions League. He competed for the league at the same time. Hence why Josh Kroenke will be like, all right, we're gonna give you a few years. I don't think Arteta's gonna get sacked anytime soon, although I think he should be sacked if he doesn't win the league this year. If he doesn't win anything this year, if he wins the Champions League this year, give him a statue because he's the only manager to do it in Arsenal's history. Let's be real.
Yeah,
if he wins the Champions League, he's gonna get a statue because he's never won the Champions League. Arsenal never won the Champions League. This is gonna be the first manager in their history to do the Champions League for them, so he'll probably get a statue for that. And what was I gonna say?
He'd be the best first manager to have won everything. But again, much. He'd be crying at the top. Who cares? He's crying at the top. So is anyone going to complain?
He's won an FA Cup, but that's not with his squad. And he's got the Champions League. He's got the path to the Champions League. We're going to talk about the Champions League in a moment as well, people. What was I going to say? FA Cup still in the quarterfinals playing Southampton. If you don't win that game, long day. Long day if they don't win that. I think Arsenal will definitely win the Premier League. That's the only thing I think they'll win this season.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only trophy I think they'll win this season. I don't think he's good enough to win the Champions League. The mentality they'll crumble in the semifinals against Barcelona or Atletico Madrid. I think they'll beat Sporting, but they'll lose to Atletico or Barcelona because they're just much better. I just think the quality of Barcelona is just much better than Arsenal, and I think Atletico Madrid as well. You know, Atletico Madrid are dangerous, especially in the semi-final. So I wouldn't write off Atletico. I wouldn't write off Barcelona. I think Arsenal would be a tough team to beat still, regardless. I just don't agree with, their experience. I don't like the experience. I don't think they're ready to win a Champions League. Maybe with a better manager they could. With a manager that will instill a better mentality, I just don't see them winning the Champions League this season. I could be proven wrong. I think they could win it still. They're still winning the shout, but do I think they will win it? Not yet. I think Barcelona are much better. I think Atletico are also much better now than they were when they lost 4-0. I think they're much better now than when they lost 4-0. Let's be honest.
Oh, they're better, but they still have holes. They're not invincible. I think Barcelona and Atleti, whoever wins that match, I don't think either team is invincible. I think they have what it takes if they can press Arsenal into making the mistakes they made against City, they can make Arsenal crumble. but at the same time, they also have their holes defensively, and Arsenal can definitely break that press up. So I think Arsenal, I agree with Monkey D. Luffy. It is a very easy path to the final. And I know they don't have the mentality, but against Barca and Atleti, at least in these constructs, their quality can definitely beat those challenges. Like, I feel like they can make some mistakes and they can still make it to the final.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's possibly was cooking 100%.
100% agree with you, man. The football is sackable. Like, if they win the Premier League, they still should sack him. I just don't think this is sustainable going forward.
Yeah.
I don't think it's sustainable going forward. Like, even if he wins the Prem, like, this football is not sustainable. Like, yes, I know they won yes, I know they would have won the Prem, but at the end of the day, like, is it going to compete? For example, what if a City improves next season? Liverpool, for example, improves next year. What if all of a sudden United improve next year? What if all of a sudden Chelsea improve again? And then Arsenal still playing this brand football, and it's going to get ugly.
What if it's like McLaren and F1, right? One season you're at the top, because circumstantially as well, you've been going with that project for a while. Everyone else had been rebuilding. Then the next season, you've lost your superiority. And of course, when everyone's at equal terms, right? A peak Pep versus a peak Arteta versus a peak Liverpool, Arsenal will be third, comfortably. Even a peak Chelsea, they'll be fourth. So,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Big up to you, man. Big up to you.
Big up, man. So good to see you.
Long time, bro. Hope you're doing good, my guy. Make sure you guys subscribe to Renvia Racing people. Yeah. Subscribe to Renvia Top Racing people. I'm sure he's got Formula One coming in his way. Big up to you, man.
I was gonna say that's almost like prophetic timing. The first time we mentioned F1 all stream, the literal second he just appeared. He's the Batman of Formula One. That's crazy. Big up.
Also that 3-wire Charles on the inside. I saw that Hamilton was struggling. I saw that Hamilton said on the radio he was struggling. But that's really about it. I don't see anything else. I don't see any other issues. But listen, I will get to that tomorrow. I'll get to that tomorrow. Don't worry.
12 hours. We'll be back.
100%, man. 100%. Who cares how you play if you win the same thing happened to Mourinho in his first season at Chelsea. But Mourinho was a defensive masterclass. Like he was a defensive mastermind. The guy won the Champions League with Porto. An aging Porto side that was probably actually I can't even say aging Porto side because it was probably a really really good Porto side.
It wasn't even that. I don't want to interrupt. It wasn't even that. It was Mourinho inspired you. He was a zero and a soul. When Arteta, he demoralizes you. When you watch him, he demoralizes you. The culture at Arsenal, the standards, it is just depleting and degrading. So, and also at the same time, the biggest thing is if you go back to that comment, Mourinho won in his first season. This is Mikel Arteta's. It's been over 6 seasons since he's been at Arsenal. He's spent over £1 billion nearly, and he still hasn't won more than Erik Ten Hag has with Man United. So that is just like at the moment. It is awful. But again, I agree with you. If he wins the Prem, you can't sack him. You can't sack him on the pretense that next season they'll be third or fourth because they still will be the contenders. But yeah, you see how it goes next season. And if they have a shitty run,
you have to build a squad good enough to compete going forward. Like, don't leave a new manager with a squad that just can't compete. You have to leave him with a squad that actually can compete going forward. Arsenal have a good team now. Like the players, if you read out some of the players' names, Gyökeres last season was banging in goals, but he just scored a hat trick for Sweden. Like, I'm not trying to say that Sweden played against a great side or whatnot. I don't know who they played against. I don't remember who they played against, but this is what I'm trying to say. I don't think it requires that much to get a player going, you know. And the fact that Arteta's gotten obviously the best of his defenders, sure, he's gotten the best of his defenders, but at the end of the day, like if this football goes on next season and they don't struggle, so they're struggling in next season in terms of trying to get goals from open play. If they do something about the goal scoring up from corners next season, if they do something about the corner kicks next season with the keeper interfering with the keeper, they're in trouble. Because this season, bro, Augustia, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The corner kicks have been really iffy this season with a lot of teams, and especially I even speak about my own team. Like a lot of the corners this season, especially with the way keepers are being treated on corners, where the keepers are being pushed and shoved and done nothing about it. Next season, if they do a lot more about corner kicks and set pieces, GG's. If they do something about it next season, good luck, because next season will not be easy. You know what I mean? Arsenal choked on Sunday. 100% they choked on
Yeah,
Sunday for sure, man.
they choked
Football's
on their own body part.
Oh yeah, agreed. Football's the biggest sport in the world. Formula One's not even a big sport.
Nah,
It's not.
Formula One is a big sport. It is one of the most global sports out there. It's just inaccessible. That's the problem. But yeah, to jump into your point, I agree. And Renvira, you say that Arteta is not a legacy at Arsenal. Yeah, absolutely. Here, the tragic irony is Arsene Wenger. I'm not talking about the whole tenure because there's a night and day difference. You're comparing God versus you're comparing a peasant. That's what you are by comparing Wenger and Arteta. But even late stage Arsene Wenger, even the Arsene Wenger that Arsenal fans despised with a total passion, even that Wenger won more trophies than Arteta did. Right? He won 3 FA Cups in his last 6 years, I think it was. So, Ekevin, to put that into context, isn't that crazy? Arsene Wenger, the one that Arsenal fans hated, he won more with those squads that were being jeopardized, weren't as financially backed than Arteta did. Just the perspective there is just so preposterous. And if it doesn't work out for Arteta this year, it will be one of, and I will feel for him on a personal level. Of course, professionally, I have no sympathy and no sentiment because he's reaping what he sowed. But just with the amount of tools they've had, man, they should have 100% won more with what they've had. They should have won something. And I think the one that the biggest loss, obviously, Renvir, you will know, is Liverpool with Klopp. Because Jurgen Klopp must be reeling himself. Of course, no regrets. But had he been in this era, had he been in this era of City decline and Arsenal being the top dogs, they would have won 2, 3, 4 Premier League titles. Would have easily surpassed us. So, big up, Sunshit. Nice to see you. Big up, Lumen.
We will get to that. Don't worry about it. We'll get to that. But we're going to discuss. We're not going to move on football just yet. We're not going to move on yet. We've got lots more to talk about in terms of the league. We still got the Champions League race. We still got the relegation battle. We still got some other clubs to talk about. Newcastle, Tottenham, maybe even Sunderland as well. Should I add Sunderland into it, or should we just some of the show?
Anything and everybody, man. Whatever the chat want, whatever you want, everything's on the table here.
So we discussed the title race. Top 4 race, you see United getting to the top 4. You see Chelsea. Who do you see finishing in the top 4?
Who do I see finishing in the top 4? I think top 4 or Champions League places?
Sorry, top 5. Excuse me, Champions League places. My bad.
That's all good. So of course, I have Arsenal winning the league, City finishing second, United third. I don't know. I think 4th to 6th could be anybody. Could be in any order, but I'll just go with Villa, Liverpool, and Chelsea. Yeah, I think Chelsea will probably just slip out.
So you think Chelsea will finish 6th? And you think?
I mean, it'll be Chelsea or Villa who slip out. I don't actually know. I think it could be. It's a coin toss. It's a coin toss with 3 sides. I don't know. I just tell you United finished 3rd for sure, because like I said, at our floor, the games we are worst at, we offer more than the other teams. We are still competitive, and with Bruno, we are just like 2 passes away from winning a game. No matter how awful we're playing, and we're not playing awful. Like, we are playing much more free, especially in tight spaces, creating nothing, right? From nothing, we're creating something. So big up. And nice to see everyone back in the chat. Very lively.
Hold on 1 second. And big up Lumen. Big up to you, man. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, awesome. Lumen, you're right. No. Lumen, you're right. They deserve it. But do we deserve it? Do we deserve to live in a world where Arsenal win the Premier League? Come on. Everyone in the chat. There's not a single Arsenal fan here. Do we deserve Arsenal to win the league? No, we don't. We don't deserve the terror. We don't deserve the torture from them. Nah,
if this was like back in the day, like the 2010s, I'd be like, you know what, whatever. Like, you don't mind it. But you know what? Okay, I'll say this. I would rather Arsenal than City. I know you prefer a different route because obviously it's different for you. But for me, I prefer Arsenal over City. In terms of like general, like if we're talking 2010s, like I wouldn't mind it because Arsenal weren't going to catch us in the league titles. At the end of the day, Premier League titles is still very far off as well. They've only got like 3 or 4 3 Premier League titles, I think. So yeah, they're still far off. So, but at the end of the day, you're right. Like a lot of Arsenal fans are insufferable about this. Yeah, but soon, Man City has become more insufferable as they start winning more. So it's gonna go. It'll be lose-lose. It's a lose-lose
Not
situation.
100%. I mean, of course, I have personal ties to City. Of course, I have been on the ground at City. I've been at City Football Academy. So from a personal and professional level, if City were to win, it's not the nuclear button for me. It's of course as a United fan, I would prefer they didn't, but I would prefer them to Liverpool, and I would prefer them to Arsenal. Those are the only two teams I would prefer them to, just because I think again 10 years ago I'd agree with you. I didn't have ties with City, and also at the same time, City were in that phase where they were finally developing. There was animosity. They were going toe for toe with us. Yeah, exactly. And look, he will still be alive, and Arsenal won't win a league title, God willing. But look, I think 10 years ago, United and City were still talking on the same planet. Today, City are in a different stratosphere, man. As a club, by every single metric, we've talked about this endlessly, like a broken record. Squad, style of play, staff, system, setup, signings, whatever you want to call it, whatever S word you want to use, the most important one is they are far more successful and a superior squad to us, a superior outlet to us by every metric. So I just think City is this robotic team. And it's, of course, the way they did it, a lot of controversy as well. Controversy is the most generous word I can use for them. Who knows what the charge is as well. I just think Arsenal and United are in the same boat. We come from a similar heritage, a similar background. And if they were to bring the hump, instead of City winning another, what is it, their sixth Prem title in about 7-8 years? Yeah, I just think that Arsenal winning would hurt more. It would be worse for the morale. And also, Arsenal and United have a proper history. City and United have the regional history, and of course have taken stride for stride in the 60s or today or whenever. But Arsenal and United have just been on the same path. Vieira, Keane, case in point.
Yeah. But I think the rivalries died down now because of because of Arsenal not really doing much compared to when they moved to the Emirates. They've not really won much.
Yeah, but we're not doing much either. So I'm saying,
since they moved to the Emirates, we've won like Champions League. We've won 3-4 Premier League titles or 5 league titles, I think.
Yeah, but even then, like Renvier and I were both coming out of preschool when we're talking about that time. Like Renvier was barely born. We're talking prehistoric.
Sorry to cut you off. I think the rivalry is more on social media rather than in real life. I think in real life, not so much. Yeah. In London, sure it's a rivalry in real life, but in Manchester, the rivalry runs through families, man. The rivalry runs through families. Like, you don't realize half the family supports City, half the family supports United in Manchester. Like it runs through families in Manchester and in Thailand, over here and overseas. United, Liverpool, huge rivalry. Like I mentioned earlier, huge rivalry over here in Thailand. You know what I'm trying to say? So
yeah,
not only it's a football institution, but the City is clearly not. Yeah. I'm not. I am ashamed to admit that because my football club's not better than my cross city rivals who have been nowhere and then they all of a sudden spawned and just taken football to another level. So I am ashamed to admit that. But at the end of the day, I'm not because they're setting us an example of how to become successful.
I was going to say, Renvier, I agree with you except one metric: owners raking revenue. I was going to say United's owners are far better at making money than City's owners, but that's not even true. Even in that front, United's owners are solely prioritizing their profits. Yet even then, City's owners, because they know winning, marketing, commercial value, global deals, soft power on steroids, even they are just better at making personal profits and also prevailing for the team itself. So, yeah, man, I think United at the moment. And look, I don't want to drown out all the optimism and atmosphere, especially Michael Carrick, who has probably been, like, pound for pound, the best manager post Sir Alex Ferguson. But still, we are far away from where we want to be. We want to be winning league titles, right? And we're a relic of the past. We're a prehistoric institution. We're of, like, the lost football order. And City are the current team in the Premier League. City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. It's not us. We're not there.
I'm sure there was a conspiracy to bring City up, but I thought it was a deliberate action. I think this thing started in 2010, where 2009, where Ronaldo left. City's owners had just bought Man City, and that was the year Carlos Tevez had left across town, and that was the year that you started to see it upturn in the rivalry. But United still won that year, the Carabao Cup, and then they beat City in the semi-finals. And then the year after they won the league, and then After that, City won the league. So that was when the upturn in form. Obviously, City won the FA Cup the next year. So that's when you could see the upturn in, domination in football. You could start to see.
Can I jump in on that real quick?
Go on, please.
I agree. I'd love to know if it's a conspiracy, who's behind it, because I just think it's by design. I think it's very similar to the power struggle in UEFA with Florentino Perez and Nasser Al-Khelaifi. 10 years ago, Florentino Perez is the godfather. He's Vito Corleone. Like, he is the godfather. Anything you like, if you subvert his will, even if you're Chefrin, or if you're the leader of UEFA, you got to get through Florentino Perez. Even if you're a referee, you are intimidated by Florentino Perez. That is an objective fact, and you can see that in the Champions League that Real Madrid won. You can see that in the decisions and the ties that they had. And I'm not calling corruption. I'm just saying that is influence. That is power. But today, he has a seat at the table, just like United. They're super powerful, but they aren't the top dog. That's Nasser Al-Khelaifi. He's the player's owner. He's the culture loves him completely. He's the chairman of all the committees as well. He is in bed with UEFA. He's on the board of UEFA as well. And also like with City as well. As United, we're transitioning into a club that takes out dividends for their owners, right? That centralizes it with the Glazers and with Ineos, with, I guess, corporations, corporate states or oligarchs trying to take United away from the fans. City as a club, business, and also with the beauty of the football and the structure, they just prioritized that, did everything they can. They didn't play by the rules, but they did what was necessary to win. And I just think it's by design that today, United and Real Madrid, they just don't have the purchasing power to compete with clubs like PSG and City, where I think in the long term, you are going to see a bit of a change. I don't think Real Madrid are going to win as many Champions Leagues this decade as they did last decade. I don't think they're going to win as many in the next decade as well.
I agree.
Unless they obviously unravel their own identity and they open up to foreign investors. But that's destroying the heart and soul of the club. So it's going to be really interesting. Yeah, big up Bossa Blue. I'm glad somebody got the reference. I'm glad someone got that reference. Yeah, he's the godfather. He went from Vito to Michael.
Arsenal can still find a way to, and we'll find a way to bottle this. Play one more game in City, and on the 19th gap, the gap will go down to 6 points, and Arsenal will come bust and see who wins the Premier League. Potentially. Sorry, I have my glasses on. Let me just read it again. My bad. Arsenal can find a way to still bottle this. Yeah, sure. I think they can. Like I said at the start of the show, I said that Man City has still to play against Arsenal, but also they have a game in hand against Palace. When that game in hand is, I don't know. City are the Champions League, so they've got more time on their hands to play that game now. Will we see City come back again? They've gone over the line, but can they get over the line in the Prem? We shall see. It's different. But I've already mentioned this before on other shows. Whoever wins that Carabao Cup will get over the line in the Premier League. And I still stick by it. So if Arsenal would have won, I would have said Arsenal. I still think Arsenal, to be honest with you, in the Premier League, I still think 9 points is a bit too much prior to the Carabao Cup final. However, I'm starting to lean towards City now because of the form that they might be going in. That Carabao Cup could really lift them. This is the one trophy Erling Haaland has never won as a footballer at Man City. He's now completed the entire set. He's won every single trophy at Man City now, Erling Haaland. Obviously, except the Europa League, but why would City stoop that low? You know what I mean? They're not going to go to the Europa League. Yeah, it's never going to happen. Unless somehow next season they just go, fall completely. I wasn't even born when Arsenal was in the only ever Champions League final. I hadn't started watching football yet, mate. I remember I'd gone to Hyatt Regency to watch Arsenal-Barca final, and that missed by Henry was suspicious. It was rumored to move to Barca. That was the year that he was still at Barca. He left to Barca, wasn't it? Was it that year that he left to Barcelona? The year after he lost the Champions League? Or was it? Oh no, sorry, it was the year after. My bad, it was the year after. City Group started multi-club. Now I realize the owners.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Girona, in Australia, in Japan. I mean, they literally have an empire. They have an empire, except they are less coercive than Florentino Perez was. And sorry, do you want to? I was gonna say King Khan. All of his comments, preach. I agree with you. You talk about the best teams this decade to win the Champions League. I think we'd all agree they aren't Real Madrid. It was Bayern Munich and it was PSG. think those two teams, for sure, right? Unanimously, would you agree with me? Bayern Munich that won in 2020, PSG that won this past year, the two best teams to win the Champions League this decade, right?
For City sure. As well, because of the treble as well.
Oh, good point. But I think Bayern Munich, yeah. So exactly. Either way, case in point, those three teams, especially those two, ruthless, dominant, deserved. Real Madrid, of course, they did deserve it. Remontadas and moments of luck and legend. But again, it wasn't. It didn't have the whole competence. It didn't have the old dominance that they had with Zidane, or with whatever generation that won it with Florent in the 50s. So, and I agree with you on the EFL analysis. Yeah, I'm with you. I just think that it's a different competition, and Arsenal across the season, they beat the teams they need to beat. City will slip up more times than Arsenal will.
But my thing is with Man City's trouble is that I'm not saying they didn't deserve it. They did, but they weren't the best. They weren't the clear-cut best. Like how Bayern dominated the Bundesliga, they dominated the whole Champions League. Like how obviously Real Madrid dominated, Man City dominated the Champions League as well. But what I'm trying to say is, even PSG dominated the whole thing in the knockouts, right? Because they lost to Liverpool 1-0.
No, but to be fair, in the final, City and Bayern both got outplayed, right? PSG and Inter had the fair share of chances.
Exactly.
And whereas PSG in the final, and I remember we did this on the F1 show, I was in the minority saying PSG would win the final. Many people thought Inter would win. PSG, most dominant performance we've all ever seen in our lives in a World Cup or a Champions League final. So,
will be nothing. Even more relevant. I don't agree with.
I can't publicly.
If I play with B teams. Sorry.
I was making a joke. I said for personal reasons I can't agree with King Khan's last thing. I can't agree with his last comment about Man City. But
Bro, Haaland won the UEFA Best Player in Europe. That is 10 times bigger than the Carabao Cup.
True that.
True, but at the end of the day, he's won every trophy he has to win now at Man City. He's completed the entire set now. So he can relax now. He's finally won that Carabao Cup that he's not won. You know, at the end of the day, you're still in it to win it. So you still have to play it. So whether it's a Carabao Cup or not, I bet you if the name was the Carling Cup, then people would take it more seriously. Back then, when it's Carling Cup, people took it a lot more seriously.
Maybe
now it's City's winning it, and Liverpool winning it more. You don't often see many new winners. Newcastle and United were like the last three winners outside of City, was Liverpool and United. Chelsea won it, but then Chelsea last won in 2015. They didn't win it with any other manager. They won it with Jose Mourinho, who was a specialist at winning this cup, and then Tottenham sacked him for winning Tottenham sacked him for a final. Which we are going to get to Tottenham in just a moment. Don't worry.
Yeah, we haven't forgotten. Don't worry. Don't worry. But yeah, I agree with
only you. Three out. Sorry, let me say this real quick. Yeah, three outright winners. Like three clear winners. Obviously, Newcastle was one that they won in last season. That was their first trophy in like 50 or 70 odd years, whatever, right? But the last three winners to have won it without like the last three noticeable winners were United, City, and Liverpool. Those were the last three teams to have won it without, obviously, Newcastle winning their first trophy after 70 years. So yeah. So you wanted to say something? Didn't mean to cut you off there.
No. I agree with you. I was just saying I agree with you, and yeah, nothing more to add. I was going to say the rest of the guys are making good points. Pep system as well. Yeah, it's killed Flair. It's so robotic. It is so effective. Like, take nothing away from it, but it is like final boss Arteta version. Whereas Arteta is like full terrorism. It's demoralizing, draining. At least with Pep, you do get some excitement and you do get some passages of play that are just so lustful for the football tactical to analyze. But yeah, again, it's inevitable. Pep is inevitable. He's Thanos.
Yeah, and also I just wanted to add quickly, Arsenal bottled that Premier League title. So City didn't dominate the Premier League because Arsenal bottled that league.
Oh, of course.
I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
City,
and
Arsenal won that one. So
there you
try to
go.
move on.
Just that the other Batman is here, Josh Joseph
Just in
Risbro.
time.
Just when you mention Arsenal, he's back.
Just in
Big
time.
up.
Football time has been dropping the last 10 years or so. The artisan lie, Pep system has killed the flair too. I 100% agree.
Yeah, and you know what? Pep's most important player, the man that led Pep to 2 Champions League titles, Lionel Messi, says the same thing, right? Messi says the lack of creativity, the lack of autonomy, not allowing players to fully express, find their feet, right? Telling them what to do rather than allowing them to show themselves. That has completely destroyed youth development. So that's been a problem.
City changed their formation mid-season, and they got rid of the bad apple in the dressing room as well, Joao Cancelo.
Yeah.
Remember that time he was causing a bit of chaos with the City team.
That was it. 4-1 win against Arsenal as well. That season.
That season when they beat Arsenal 4-1, and then that was the year.
Oh my
that was
God.
the time when United beat 2-1. That was the day. I think that was the time when Cancelo left, and then that was it, man. And then the City just went on a run, like a complete new run after that. That's it. You know?
Yeah, ruthless, robotic. That's what they do best, right? They take risks and they win. Arteta doesn't. He's passive. He waits for God to come save him. He doesn't go to God himself and win. Ridiculous.
You guys see the 60-point rumors today? Yeah, I've seen it, but I don't want to. I don't know how the truth behind it, so I'm not gonna.
I was gonna ask you. Do we know where the origin of the source was? Like, where did it come from?
Not really, but I've seen this somewhere before, but I don't know how true this is. I'm not gonna talk about it. It's not true because we've seen it so many times. Man City gets charges given to them, 115 charges, 60-point deduction, It's been out in the news, but nothing's happened. So I don't know what to believe anymore.
It's like a broken record, right?
Yeah, and I also want to say this. Yeah, when you saw Ryan Cherky do keepy uppies in Arsenal the other day, you saw the British media absolutely crazy. So yes, Pep's system has killed flair, and I 100% agree. But the moment Ryan Cherky does the flair and the skill and the trickery, the whole English media goes on a rampage. They go crazy because he's doing a few keepy uppies. He's trying to, bro. Isn't that what we want in footballers? Like to be skillful, and the British media just shame them for it. It's almost like it's ruining the game with the way these people talk about football, isn't it?
Yeah, but Ekevin, that's not trickery and skill. I think that we need. That is just like total disrespect. That is just like disrespect, and I'm all for it. I love. It's like
game we need it though. Like we need
but it's not really skillery. It's like doing the old lay, like making passes. It's like when the team can't get the ball. Yeah, exactly. Subverting the status quo. Big up Infield. That's what he's doing. He's mocking it.
But that's what you need, though, bro, isn't it? Because like in
personality.
In football nowadays, you don't have much rivalry. It's all about being friends nowadays in football. It's hardly rivalry in football nowadays. You know what I'm trying to say? It's all about. That's the thing, and that shithousery. You need a bit of that in games. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't often see that anymore during games, and especially when you remember the FA Cup 2008, Nani was doing all that skill against Arsenal. We were 4-0 up.
Oh, beautiful.
And then you miss those, and then you think, oh, those are the times when football rivalry was at its peak, and then now it's just like gone. Just like that. It's in a flash. It's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the thing, King Khan, to say it didn't achieve anything here. You're right. It didn't enhance City's cause for sure. But if you're Arteta, you got to be replaying that moment on and on and on and on again. How you cannot tolerate disrespect like that again. You have to dominate. You have to be proactive. The fact that they didn't motivate them after that moment, you would have thought that Arsenal would have had some spine, would have had some sauce, would have had some spark to actually be more proactive, to actually be more aggressive, to actually want it more. They didn't. It looked like City were chasing the game after being 2-0 up. Arsenal just looked like they were trying to finish it and bring it home. I think, look, I'm not even an Arsenal fan. I don't have sympathy towards Arsenal, but I know Josh, you're in the chat. I was frustrated watching that. I was beyond frustrated. I didn't even know what was going on. Rookie mistakes here.
It doesn't even work anyway when the players are good enough and allowed to do what they want. It's when you get Messi's, Ronaldo's, Mbappe's, Ronaldinho's, Pele's, etc.
True.
That's the thing. But then Ryan Cherky does it. Everyone in the media just goes like, "Oh, he shouldn't be doing that stuff." Like, bro, it's football banter. It's supposed to hype up a game. It's supposed to raise the rivalry. It's supposed to raise the battle. You know what I'm trying to say, and that's what he's trying to do. But then the British media just went in on stuff. I'm trying to say. Obviously, we need to see Man City rot a couple of seasons in the second division. I would love that as a United fan, because I am at the end of the day as well. You want it. Turkey's tricks didn't achieve anything. It's a circus. It didn't achieve anything, but at the end of the day, like it's all what I want to see in a footballer. Nowadays we complain about footballers not having skill, flair, and that same explosiveness that they didn't have years ago. We all see one-dimensional wingers compared to what we used to see. Like, in terms of like a Ronaldinho, used to see like a Rivaldo, used to see all these other players, Zidane's, do these skills. Cristiano Ronaldo at United was doing skills. You know what I'm trying to say? But now in football, it's just like one dimension. Everyone's just like basic. You know what I'm trying to say? But then once Ryan Cherky does a few skills and a few keepy uppies, like that's what you want to see in the game, in my opinion. That's what you want to see in the game. At the same time, if he did that and Arsenal came back to win, it would be the biggest joker. Sure, but they didn't. So now it's not something to look at. Why the hell going to concede the title of Roy Keane? By the way, I just want to say something about Roy Keane. Prayers to Roy Keane. His mother passed away today. Sending love to Roy Keane, and his family. My condolences to him, and all that, man. Big up to Roy Keane, legend of the football club as well. Sad to hear about his mother's passing, man. Really sad.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers to Roy Keane and his family, friends, loved ones. We all support you, sending strength over.
Players are allowed to greet each other even though they're rivals, sure, but that's the tunnel and that's it. On the pitch, it's drama. It's kickoff. No pun intended. Yeah,
that was good.
Well, between Arsenal City, the ones that wins the title has a last laugh. I agree with that, actually.
Nah. I think City laugh anyways. They've done it 1,000 times. It's that Arsenal can have the first laugh.
I think he means just the season. I don't think he means that.
Yeah.
If all Arsenal's to lose, this should be an easy win for Arsenal if they're consistent. I agree. If they're consistent. The Etihad game is where it defines everything, in my opinion. He did do that. He did disrespectful a few times and lost. It's fair enough. Ryan Cherky has spoken a lot in the media and has said stuff, but come on. At the end of the day, it's not something we should be worried about. What Ryan Cherky says, it shouldn't be in our worries. We should be focused on what we're doing as a club. City beat the decline in the last 2 seasons, 100%. But this season, it could change if they win the league. It could change a lot going forward if they win the league, because Pep could just say goodbye if he wins the league this year. Because there's a lot of rumors of Pep leaving if City win the league, or even this season or next season. Next season is his last year in his contract. I think he could be gone. Guys, the Enrique and Ancelotti situation. What about it? Like United? What, you want United to get them 2 managers?
I mean, if we got Enrique, that would be utopian. That would be unbelievable. That's the goal. He's the guy. Yeah.
I will lose my patience at Arsenal if they don't win. I agree.
You guys still have patience? That's crazy, bro. I'm aware he's an OG, been there from the early days. But I'm just saying, like, if you guys still have patience with Arsenal, I think even the Buddha looks up to you with no disrespect. I'm just saying, even he's like amazed with that.
That's the problem. If one of the clubs don't go snap up Enrique before he goes to City, then we're all screwed. Because Enrique is Pep's replacement. It's over if he goes to Man City. It's over.
Look, City should go for Brendan Rodgers. They were going to go for him many years ago, right? I think they should go for Brendan Rodgers again. They were trying to a while back, so get it done. He's the guy.
Wasn't it us?
No, I mean also us, yes, but it was them.
Yeah.
I think he was like one of the replacements, yeah.
Just funny. Leicester City have won every single recent trophy in England more recently than Arsenal.
I was going to mention that.
The Premier League more recently than Arsenal, the League Cup more recently than Arsenal, and the FA Cup more recently than Arsenal.
Crazy.
And they've been relegated to League. They've been relegated to the Championship, but to get relegated to League One again.
Insane.
All for Ancelotti and Enrique, the fuck you money, buy out their contracts and tell them how great we are, how great we think.
Yeah. This is it.
That's it. Yeah.
King Kanye, 100%. Isn't that hard? Yeah, give him.
Southgate's another one, bro. He's another one.
Yo,
Sorry.
Manchester City, Southgate, Brendan Rodgers, anybody, man. Just go for that ilk of manager. Top tier, bro. Top tier, homegrown, Britain, Scotland.
Liverpool fans think Elise will join them.
Why would he join them?
Why would he join them, mate? Honestly,
The incentive there.
I don't care. I said all along, no Carrick. Well, we've spoken on Carrick on the last show, on the last All Out Sports Talk. We'll speak more on
Talk
Carrick.
about him as well today.
We are going to move on now to Tottenham. Before we go to the Champions League and international break, because we do have a lot of football to discuss on today's All Out Sports. It's mostly football, basically mostly Football Central. I think Football Central today, and then obviously NBA. We'll discuss towards the end. But yeah, man. Tottenham, will they get relegated?
I'm laughing. I'm loving this. Is that McDonald's slogan? I'm loving this because I'm really loving this. Will they get relegated? I have a logically, yes. Logically, they should. If you look at the fixtures, after the next set of Premier League fixtures, West Ham have Wolves. West Ham should beat Wolves. It's Wolves at home. West Ham should be above Tottenham. Tottenham will lose to probably whoever they face. I don't remember who it is, but they will lose. So Tottenham will be in the relegation zone come next week with a handful of games till the end of the season.
They Sunderland away next week, bro.
Oh, sorry, yeah, they're not going to win that game.
Another week.
So, but yeah, so I think, guys, logically they should go down. But instinctively, I just have this hunch. I just have this terrifying vision, almost as bad as Arsenal winning the league, that they will somehow meander their way back up. They'll just win. They'll stay up by a point or by a couple points and not deserve to, but they will. So logically, yes, they like. If we're just saying logically, like instinct aside, folklore aside, yeah, they will go down. They're the worst team in the league recently. I think comfortably. Right? I think comfortably. I would say that at least the case is very high. But I think I have a bad instinct that they're gonna stay up, but they should go down, and they're trending to go down, and that would be great for the Premier League. I think that would be great. I think that would save the season. You know, if Arsenal win the league, that would save the season, because the fact that you can have a team with that much stature, with a stadium that is as stunning as theirs, and to go down, that would save the Premier League, because that would be the unpredictable allure, that shock factor, that overthrows and outweighs, that drowns out anything else that happens in Europe this year. So we all want Tottenham to go down, right? I think we all want that.
Yeah, for the banter, it would be hilarious if they get relegated. My point is, I think delusional shaming Bundesliga is a reason for him to leave, bro. This is what Prem Tart fans do. They'll shame every other league and say, "Oh, the Premier League's an upgrade." It's funny. It's funny because the last 10 winners of the Champions League, only 3 of them have been Premier League winners, and the rest of them have been La Liga winners, or Bundesliga winners, or French League winners. You know what I'm trying to say? This is what I'm saying. Real Madrid bro, in the last 10 years, Real Madrid have dominated the Champions League. They have completely dominated the Champions League. They've won how many Champions Leagues in the last 10 years? Like, ever since 2014, 15, Real Madrid have won
6.
5 Champions Leagues in the last 10 years. 5 in the last 10. Bro, they've dominated the Champions League. And only 3 Premier League clubs have won it, but those clubs didn't end up. Bro, the only club to have won the league in the period that Man City, in the period that, you know, they've won the Champions League in that. Let me phrase the question. Let me phrase the answer. The only club to have won the league whilst winning the Champions League was Man City from the Premier League. Liverpool and Chelsea did not win their Premier League, or did not win the league, finish in a high position when they won the league. Or when they won the Champions League, excuse me. And Liverpool, the last 3 times they've won the Champions League, they've not won the Premier League in that same season. Chelsea, they're only 2 ever Champions League they've won. And it's not a shade at Chelsea. This just me saying it's a fact. Chelsea have not won the league in the last 2 times they've won the Champions League. United have the last 2 times United and City have won the Champions League or they've won a European trophy, they've won the league. It's only United and City that have won the league and the Champions League in the last few times
in recent history.
in recent history.
Yep.
So the Premier League have not. So the Premier League clubs, yeah. I don't know if this is a good argument, but it's not. It's not been the best. The quality has ever been in the last few years, and it's sad because I'm a United fan, and the Premier League is my favorite league to watch. Right? It's sad because the quality is kind of dipped, and the competition is just kind of fallen away. And when you look at the rules, when you look at the way the league's shaped up, you see time wasting on corners. You see corner kicks being taken, and like the way that they shouldn't be, like because the way they're crowding around the keeper, the way they're pushing and shoving in the box and getting away with it. Referees not calling penalties when it should be penalties. VAR not being used correctly. This is
Awful,
the worst
awful.
Premier League season ever.
Yeah,
One of the worst Premier League seasons ever, in my opinion.
easily. Yeah, and 100%, and I agree. You're right. The fact that teams they're winning Champions League in scrappy seasons. Yeah, this is it. Barcelona at the peak, like Monkey Duffy says. Every time they win the UCL, they win the league. They are peak. They're the greatest peak in football history. I will stand by that. Barcelona are the greatest peak ever. More than Real Madrid, more than United, more than Liverpool. They are the most beautiful, and they are the best. Best players, best squad, best staff. It is just mesmerizing. It's magic. It's art. Even Picasso, even Van Gogh, they would dream of creating art as beautiful as La Masia does. But they dominate, right? No matter how beautiful it is, they translate that into victory. Real Madrid, yeah, of course, sometimes they don't win the league, but they're still deserving to win the Champions League. They have the cojones to win the Champions League. The Prem teams, yeah, apart from City and United, quite, quite scrappy. The seasons they win, the competition isn't as high. Like, look at Chelsea. Look at Liverpool. It was a Tottenham-Liverpool final. That was awful. Yeah, I'm sorry, King Khan. That's true. I just had to glaze them. We hadn't mentioned them, and I haven't mentioned them in months. That was but yeah, I just think like Liverpool Tottenham. That was an awful final. That was an awful final.
Awful.
Neither team. I mean, Tottenham shouldn't have been there. They had the great escape in Ajax, but they shouldn't have been there. It was just you're right. I agree.
Ajax completely threw it away. They could have provided Liverpool competition if they won the game, man. Ajax, because they had a really good young squad, man. They could have won the whole thing, but listen, they fell to Tottenham. And if you fall to Tottenham, you're one of the biggest bottlers, and so are we. We're one of the biggest bottlers as well. You know what I mean? It's true they don't do that often. They've been shit for 11 years, though. Who? What? Barcelona?
You think Barcelona, but I mean, they've had some good runs and they've won league titles. So, like,
shit.
Even though by their standards, they have been not as dominant.
Last season, they've had a good year. Last season, they had a really good year. They almost won everything. They were so close to winning everything. They made semifinals of the Champions League and lost.
Yeah, but
to win everything, that'd have been crazy. Imagine, I guess let me say this real quick. Yeah? PSG to win all 4 trophies in the same season on the line versus Barca to win all 4 trophies in the same season. How crazy would that have been? The final. Inter got slapped.
But I think Barca got slapped
ever watched. That was the worst final I ever watched from an opponent's perspective.
No,
all one-sided. Sorry, go on.
No, I agree. PSG. I think PSG would have slapped Barca anyway. Stylistically, they would have that high line. They would have scored more than 5, maybe. I think. But I agree with you. I just think I was going to say something. I forgot. Oh, 2019. Yes. Last year for Barca was heartbreaking. I think 2019 was almost even more heartbreaking.
Oh yeah.
Because that was a generational year. They also would have won almost everything. Almost. I didn't say everything. And man, that year, that Messi, I will still say 2019 Messi in a Barcelona shirt, maybe peak Messi Barcelona. That year he was unbelievable. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, what are you saying?
No, I was just saying Barca, heartbreak after heartbreak. This year, we'll see them versus Arsenal. Can they get past Atleti? I don't even know.
I think Tottenham get relegated potentially.
Yeah, they should. They deserve to go down.
And they've not replaced players, and they've not signed players well. They've let go of Son and Kane. they're not replaced him. They let go of the guy who scored them in the winning goal in the Europa League final, Brennan Johnson.
Yeah.
And they sacked the manager for that as well. And it's all funny because Daniel Levy just got sacked this season. And Tottenham are in the relegation area. It's funny. Man, I hope Tottenham get relegated, man. I really do. But they've not replaced they've not replaced those players, and they've not signed well. Cool, they signed Xavi Simons, good player, but is that it? Is that all they're gonna go and sign? I don't think they're good enough. Obviously, yes, they're missing Madison Kulusevski, but come on, you know Tottenham's injury crisis. It's been a crisis for 2 years, 3 years now. Tottenham have always had these crazy injuries. You know, even under Ange, like I remember they had in his first season. I remember they were struggling with bare injuries in his first season. So, you know, that's just what it is. Like, that's an issue that Tottenham needs to sort out, man, because they can't just keep on carrying on like this with injury after injury after injury after injury. You know, season in, season out, they're getting bare injuries to their key players. Madison, Kulusevski. 2 of these guys, by the way, have been Tottenham's crucial players, arguably one of the biggest players for Tottenham in the last 2 years, and they've been out through an injury. So that's down to Tottenham. That's down to the retractable pitches that they have, in my opinion. That's something that they need to fix up. And retractable pitches in football need to be binned. Real Madrid need to bin it off as well. It's going to cause injuries, big time. If we look at history, they're getting knocked out. 2014, 2016 quarterfinal, Atletico Madrid knocked them out. But you're a better side than Atletico Madrid, man.
Copa del Rey.
Barcelona are a much better side.
Yeah, but look at recently, Atleti versus Barca.
True, but
very recent.
Wasn't it Barca that were down to 10 men or something? I can't remember what it was.
I mean, did they lose by 4? 10
they
men
almost
or
came
not?
back. Almost came back. They won the second leg 3-0. I think got
Still.
1 goal disallowed, I think. Not mistaken.
Missed it. I think look, it'll be fun. You got Liverpool, PSG, Madrid, Bayern, and then you have Arsenal, Sporting, and Barca, Atleti. I think all 4 will be fun. Obviously, Arsenal, Sporting will not be as fun. Some Sporting players will be fun to watch, like your Trincaos, like your Pedro Gonçalves, for example. But
Yeah.
Are we talking about Madrid's medical staff or Barca's?
Tottenham's all medical staff.
Oh, I was gonna say Madrid because I'm sure we all saw the report out of Madrid, right? The ChatGPT stuff.
Yes,
It's crazy. That's like just crazy, bro.
That's
It's really messed up.
Yeah, it's really messed up. I can't lie to you. No, but you're spot on though, like, bro. I think
Fever, bro.
I think you're spot. So apologies about the light. It's blinking in the back. But yeah, no. I was just gonna say, like, they've got their fair share of issues. Obviously, you mentioned what Sporting Arsenal, right? Don't count out Trincao, that Luis Suarez guy.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
because that Luis Suarez guy that came from the league of the season before he's gonna be on it, man.
Ballers.
And this
man.
is Gyökeres' return as well. Don't forget, this is Gyökeres' return to Sporting as well. So
wouldn't it be nice if they dumped him out on his return?
Oh yeah, that would be hilarious. Cristiano Ronaldo's Portuguese club that he played
Bruno.
for.
Yeah.
Bruno as well, Nani as well. You know, name it Marcos Rojo.
Exactly. Big up.
Big up Marcos Rojo.
Yeah.
Suarez missed against Croatia. No, but anyways, as I was saying, like,
I think Echo and I both. Did you get what he meant or no? I can't. The Croatia stuff. Do you remember that? Because I can't. I can't remember it either.
No, really. No.
I don't know what he's talking about either. I am interested.
I think he's talking about Suarez's miss, the one that recently happened. Oh, okay. I saw it.
Okay, yeah, fair.
I saw that. That was a terrible miss. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay,
but,
yeah. Fair.
But I'm talking about the Luis Suarez. I mean, we'll see what happens with him. Like, will he turn up against Arsenal? We don't know for sure. They'll turn up against Arsenal or not. But what do you make of the Champions League ties, man? Because we'll give our predictions in the Champions League show, but what do you make of these ties? Like, what do you see like happening?
Oh, I think they're historic. Put it this way, they're historic, right? You have Bayern versus Real Madrid. You have Real Madrid, the kings of the tournament, versus Bayern, arguably the best team in Europe at the moment. That will be heavyweight, right? You can never rule out Real Madrid, especially with Mbappe and Vini. And with the former Mbappe's in the Champions League, he is lights out. His connection with Arda Güler throughout the tournament has also been generational in many ways. So you can't rule that out, especially with Arbeloa, who of course we're not as developed, not as stable, not as blossomed, not as a beast of a squad and team as Bayern, but certainly they have improved their form as of late. They are building more of a fortress, the Bernabeu, and I think that Bayern. Yes, I was going to get to that, Monkey D. Luffy. I was just saying Madrid, you can never write them off. You can never write them off with the personnel and the power. But yeah, Bayern will run through them. I think Bayern will comfortably win. I think whoever they face, whether it was City or Madrid, Bayern would spread their legs up and would just eat, hammer, destroy. And then in terms of PSG Liverpool, of course you can't count Liverpool out, but I think PSG are heavy favorites. I know domestically they haven't been as dominant, they haven't been as consistent, but still in the Champions League, especially after they turned it up against Chelsea, almost the same stature as Liverpool. I think PSG and Bayern should comfortably get past both squads. No disrespect to Madrid and Liverpool. And then on the other side, yeah, Barca Atleti. That will be a lot of fun, right? You have Barca, that press, the Hansi Flick press. You have Diego Simeone, the press breakers. It's a clash of styles. We've seen what's happened in recent history. It can go either way. I think it's 50-50. And then when it comes to Arsenal versus Sporting, probably first leg will be a draw. A draw in Sporting, a draw in Portugal. Then Arsenal will close it during the second leg. But the games itself, I think if there are three games, there are three Champions League games going on, and then there's another game that is staring at the wall, which is Arsenal versus Sporting. So that's a game that I think none of the neutrals will have an interest in watching, correct? Except for the Sporting flair.
Yeah.
Whereas the other three, cinema, anything can happen.
Yeah, man. Big up to you, man.
Oh yeah.
Big up, man. I've been. Do you know what, bro? The last video clip I made, yeah, and I don't mean to brag about myself because I don't like to brag about myself. It went completely like just straight to the roof. Like I just posted it and I didn't expect it to get that many views. Like, bro, crazy. Like honestly, big up to everyone who supported and big up who liked and left, a big up or a comment, and all the good stuff. But big up. But this is what I'm trying to say, man. This is what I'm trying to say. It's my most recent clip, bro. My most recent clip I uploaded is the five
Nuclear,
player.
man.
Yeah, man, crazy. Like, world class 5-a-side team. That one went viral. I didn't think it'd go that crazy. I mean, but yeah, man.
23 views.
I trust me. They have been proven wrong. They have been, for sure. And I can't wait to get to 600 subscribers, man. And I need to get there soon, people. So if you guys can do that, hit the like button, subscribe. That'd be great. Before the World Cup, we're trying to get to 1K. Or during the World Cup. I can't wait. We're going to get there, people. World Cup content coming your way. Sorry, guys, I continue your point, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm with you, brother. And King Khan, everything you said. Of course, I don't know whether Ekman will... Yeah, out of context, but it's true. It's true. 23K views is well deserved. And you're gonna get 23K and infinitely more views very soon. You got those views because algorithm helped you, but also you deserved it. You're entertaining, man, and 100%. King Khan. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when. He's gonna overtake all the adversaries, and it's his market, man. The passion, the knowledge. This channel is beautiful. It's only gonna grow, and the fact that we're here early days. In 5 years' time, we'll come back to this stream. Someone will come back to this stream and be like, "Hey, an early AN Sports stream. Let's see how it was back then." Trust. But yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. Do you know what? That's all I can say is hold that. And I'm not going to mention names and whatnot, but that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and the best part is, King Khan, I know exactly what you're talking about, but he didn't care. He didn't care about subs, and he still achieved what he had to achieve. So that's a big up. Anyways, about Champions League. Look, it'll be fun. Monkey D. Luffy, I'm with you. You have to, of course, give Real Madrid and Liverpool respect. but you do expect PSG and Bayern Munich to be the overwhelming favorites and a very overpowering force. And Harry Kane, maybe this is the time. Maybe it's the time for him to complete the set. And then on the other side, I think it's I think if I had to pick my contenders, the winner of PSG Bayern will probably win the Champions League. That's what I think.
PSG, Bayern. I think Real Madrid. You have to include. Of course, you got to include Real Madrid. Like I think you can never. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I just saw a comment in the chat. It's just the way. It's just the way he did. It's just the way he wrote the comment.
Yeah, it threw me off guard, man. Just crazy monkey D. Laffy, man.
No, but as I was saying, you can never discount Real Madrid. Like it's the history, the heritage they have in that competition. Like I said, they won 5 out of the last 10 Champions Leagues. Like you can't write them off. You can't write Real Madrid off, even if they're not playing amazing, and even if they're not, winning games as they used to properly. They still got players like Mbappe, Vini, could hurt you. They've got Arda Güler, talented players there. They've got Mastantuono. They've got a lot of good players. Valverde is on such great form, and I think Valverde, I have a crazy shout, right? If Real Madrid win the Champions League this year, and I know this is the World Cup year, because they'll consider the World Cup too. Valverde, if Real Madrid win the Champions League, Valverde has to be up there for the Ballon d'Or.
No, for sure.
He's been one of the best players in the world this year by a distance. Bro, he's been absolutely on fire. It's not even close. Yeah, I know Mbappe winning because of the PR. I agree, but Valverde has to be up there, right? Surely. He's got to be up there. Because you got to consider how much of an impact the player has given to a team that's just a bit dysfunctional, a little bit out of chemistry, and a bit all over the place. You know what I'm trying to say? But that's just what I think, anyways. But sorry, go on, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, of course, you can never write off Real Madrid. You can never rule them off for the reasons you stated. And every time it seems like they have been pushed to the wall, and they are about to be folded, they somehow fold the pressure and somehow finish on top, even if there's 10 seconds left in a game. But then again, when Real Madrid won the Champions League, the year they beat Dortmund, what was it? They had Bayern in the semis. Bayern should have won. That controversial goal, was it ruled offside or not given again? I just think this time, role reversal, Madrid are in the inferior place, Bayern are in the superior place. Stylistically, it is still a very similar style of play. Arbeloa is not playing the most Julian Nagelsmann, Luis Enrique style of play, Vincent Kompany style of play. It is still more Real Madrid-esque. It is still more moments rather than magic from top to bottom. Whereas Bayern, it is a ruthless system that is unfazed by pressure. I do expect Bayern to win by a couple goals at least. So I think Kane will shine, Mbappe will shine, but eventually the stars of Bayern, they have more stars in terms of output than Madrid in terms of, a functional unit.
I'll be real, it seems in club football, the PSG losses have created a mental block for
Mbappe. Absolutely, yeah.
Actually, can I just speak on PSG? Point. Can I speak on PSG for a quick second?
Floor is yours.
What the hell are they doing? Have you seen what they did? Have you seen what they did, bro? They got the long
with Liga postponements. It makes sense.
It just makes no sense to me.
Of course it does. It's what a winner would do. I mean, I wouldn't do it, right? But I'm saying I understand it. They want to win the Champions League. Their league's behind them. Why wouldn't you capitalize on that?
I agree with it. Because, bro, they've just won the quadruple. They've won the Champions League, right? This is not the mentality to act, bro. Man United used to never want to cancel games because they had to play in a competition before the biggest Champions League game. They used to play and then go win everything. PSG won everything last year without canceling a single game. Why did they have to cancel the Lens game? Cancel the Lens game for what? Yes, no,
they have been postponing games before Champions League ties for a long time. They've been moving games to the Friday. Liga has been helping PSG for a long time, but it's a coordinated help. It's a help of interest. It benefits the league and it benefits PSG. Of course, it hurts Lens a bit, but yeah, exactly. They canceled games last year, but it's not. Yeah, again, this one is controversial because not everybody's agreeing to it. But before I see no problem. Yeah, and even like the favorable scheduling, the Bundesliga do it with Bayern Munich it's not abnormal. It's just protecting your best squad, allowing them to have complete autonomy and fitness when they go in the Champions League, it makes sense. It just makes sense.
Mbappe is the reason they're not in the top 4 battle, but Real Madrid would never look at top 4. That's not Real Madrid. They don't care about top 4. Real Madrid don't care about top 4. They don't do these top 4 battles in other leagues. They don't care about it. They don't do this race for Europe crap and relegation crap in other leagues. Albeit, this is why only the Premier League does it. That's why it's not like the Premier League.
Sure.
The Premier League is not being pushed into the same things too, but I don't agree with it though. It's poor mentality. You compete however you can compete. You know what I mean? Way too much congestion can make some of the Prem games in less games congestion. That's what I mean. PSG actually can rotate though. They actually have a good team to rotate.
But Lens is not a game to rotate. It's their title rivals.
No, I know, but in games that they can, that I still think like they can still, like swap around a few players and still win. This is PSG. They're gonna win Ligue 1 anyways. I don't see Lens being better than them. Hold on 1 second. I'm just getting through a few of the comments real quick here. Wait, did I read this one already? I think I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
La Liga does it about moving games early, even Bundesliga. Okay, fine. I get moving the times, but don't cancel or don't postpone a game because of a Champions League game. Like, you can move the time, but don't postpone the match and move it to another date. I don't get that.
The one question I would have is, I understand why the league would do it. I understand why PSG would do it. It is in their best interest, commercially and competitively. The question I would have is tickets. Did the fans buy tickets for the games? That's the bigger question I have. Because did the Lens fans, Ekavin, Monkey D. Luffy, King Khan, did the PSG fans, did they buy the tickets for the games? Or had they not? Because if they did, then that I think is a problem, right? But if they didn't buy the tickets, then I think I have no problem with it. It's fine. It's gamesmanship.
But it's just, I just don't like it as a football fan. You want to see them compete on all fronts. Doesn't matter timings and everything. Okay, like I said, forget timings for a minute. Moving the date of a game. Like, they've got the squad to compete on all fronts, bro. You know what I mean? If Liverpool can make all 4 competitions, all 4 games, play every single game in a single season, yes, they didn't win everything, but the fact that they've played the same team and played every single game that season tells you a lot. Says a lot. So PSG shouldn't have to complain about changing time. And it was a COVID year as well, where the games were even more congested. Even more congested. Like, it was still like, the timings of the years of what was going on and everything like that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, man. But that's just what I was gonna say. On that, we talked about the Champions League, mouth-watering ties. Actually, I'll ask you for your predictions now. Sorry.
Sure, go on.
No. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing. Keep going.
Mouth-watering ties. Madrid, Bayern.
Bayern.
Okay. Sporting, Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Barca, Atleti.
Coin toss. I don't know.
Gun to the head.
Barca.
Okay. And last but not least, Liverpool, PSG.
PSG.
Yeah. I'll give my predictions on the Champions League show next week or the week after next. Excuse me, people. Madrid, Atletico, Arsenal, PSG. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, I guess that's the Champions League.
I have to see injuries and form ahead of the Barca Atleti game, so I won't make my prediction. But the other 3, I'm very confident.
That's fine. I want to get to the next. How do you say it? I want to get to the next topic now, which is the international football. But before I do that, do you want to discuss on Newcastle, or do you want to leave it for the next show?
Can leave it for the next show.
Okay, because I was going to ask you about the situation in Newcastle and obviously their ownership and everything, but that's something we'll leave for the next show. Barca, Koundé, Balde, De Jong coming back. Then there you go. You've got no reason to worry. For no reason
Well,
to worry.
I don't know about that. Stylistically, Atleti do seem like a kryptonite to them.
Running out of battery?
Yeah, I just picked up my phone
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good.
to check something. Yeah,
I want to get to the Champions, not Champions League. I want to get to the international games that happened last night. Obviously, the World Cup qualifying games that happened. Llorente, yeah, he's a good player. He's a really good
too
player.
good, man. Too good.
Sorry, 1 second, mate. So World Cup qualification. Turkey beat Romania 1-0. Ireland did all that celebration just to lose to Czech Republic on penalties. Denmark won against North Macedonia 4-0. Italy won 2-0 against Northern Ireland. Let's go. One more game closer to the World Cup for the Azzurri. Poland 2, Albania 1, Slovakia 3, Kosovo 4. That's a shock result, Kosovo. You know what I mean? And Wales drew Bosnia 1-1 on penalties. I want to ask you for your predictions, or do you want to preview them, or you want to just or ask you for your predictions, and we'll go to others.
Whatever you want. Predictions. What did the chat want? I didn't get to watch the games last night, so I can't really talk to them too.
Oh, that I forgot to bring up the other comments. What do you call it? Right here. Jamaica beat. Let me get to the other games as well. Jamaica beat New Caledonia 1-0, and Bolivia beat Suriname 2-1. That's it. How many teams are missing from the World Cup now? Just 8. Just
6, 8.
No, I have been following them, but it's still a shock how they've gone all this way and getting close to the World Cup. It's still kind of a shock because Sweden should not have been in that position to be in the playoffs. The fact that Sweden are in the playoffs, yeah, man, it's kind of lucky for them. They play this inter playoff in Mexico. Okay, how many teams are missing from the World Cup? I just need to make sure so I can get all the predictions out of the way.
Chat. How many teams are missing from the playoffs?
How many teams are missing from the from the World Cup right now? I think all Asian teams have qualified already to the World Cup. I think
yes,
so.
I'm fairly certain. Yeah.
6 teams. Okay, 6 teams.
Right. Yeah.
So Congo versus Jamaica. Who are you gonna go for?
This is with, again, I have been studying Congo and Jamaica for the longest time, so I can give you a full tactical preview. Said nobody, I don't know. It's a coin toss. I'm going with Jamaica. I don't know. No disrespect. Kevin, who are you going for?
Congo.
Okay. Fair.
Oh, and they're still okay. Oh, it's DR Congo.
Yeah, but we know. We know what he means.
Yeah, we know. Don't worry. We know. Don't worry. Iraq versus Bolivia. So we still have one Asian teams yet to qualify.
Where is Iraq versus Bolivia? I want to know where it's at.
I think it's in. I don't know. Hold on, I'm trying to find out where it is. I don't know where. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, Bolivia. Okay. Yeah. So look.
Okay. Sorry.
Go. Okay. So look. Conditions favor. That makes sense given the World Cup. Conditions obviously favor Bolivia. Also, squad Bolivia matchup. I just have an instinct Iraq are gonna win. So let me just say Iraq and Jamaica for the sake of it, guys. Come on.
I'll go opposite. I'll go DR Congo and Bolivia.
You're probably right. Both teams are probably stronger, but it's the World Cup, man.
All right. Anyways, let's get to this. There's some comments here. Apparently, this full cost is agreeing with the board. I'll do a United show very soon to talk about this. Save it all for the United show, bro. And for the UEFA World Cup qualifiers, so we've got. I've read the results already. Bosnia versus Italy. I'm going Italy.
I'm going Bosnia.
Oh no, I can't do it. I can't have another World Cup without Italy, man. We can't. You know we can't have another World Cup without Italy.
Of course we can. We've had 2. We can have another one. Bosnia.
Nah. Italy, come on. Forza Azzurri, man. Czech versus Denmark. I'm gonna go Denmark to go through.
Sure, yeah. They deserve to.
Kosovo, Turkey.
I need to see Turkey's form because Kosovo, as we just talked about, cannot discount them.
They've been playing well.
But of course, yeah, given the squads match up, Turkey are favorites. Sure.
I didn't watch the game last night. Couldn't be bothered. Kosovo.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just have a yeah. I agree. Kosovo.
And last but not least, sorry.
I'm going Kosovo as well. Yeah, let's do it.
Sweden, Poland.
So the winner of this goes to Japan's group, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think Japan can beat both those teams. By the way, for the record, let's go with Sweden.
I agree. I think Sweden will.
Yeah. And I think Japan will make it out of that group as well. By the way,
it's a shame there's no Leone.
But it would be good to have a rematch against Poland. By the way, from a Japan point here.
I'll go Sweden. I would like to see Lewandowski play his last World Cup, but I think Sweden will go to the World Cup.
I want Poland, by the way.
And also a few international games happened as well. Obviously, Brazil, France happened in Boston.
Fun game.
Yeah. France won 2-1. And yeah, there's been some other interesting results. Speaking of international, I am going to the Thailand versus Turkmenistan game on Tuesday. Because if Thailand win that, they go to the Asian Cup. If they don't win that, they're out the Asian Cup, which is crazy.
Really? It's a make or break for the Asian Cup.
Yeah, they have not missed out on the Asian Cup for a very long time.
That's crazy. Yeah,
oh man,
that'd be like you would need full accountability for like the Thai Football Association. That'd be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, man, 100%. France are adding Barco to Zach. Bro, Bradley.
Yeah, look, we talked about it before the show. The three teams I think that will make the quarterfinals of the World Cup may not win it, but they'll make it is Spain, France, Argentina. I expect those 3 teams to make it. The rest, it's a free for all in a way. Of course, you would expect Brazil, Portugal, England, but yeah, still, we'll see.
What do you mean they're struggling to sell the tickets?
Yeah, because the prices are still hefty. They aren't filling out World Cup tickets yet. It's too commercialized. It's a show.
What do you expect though, bro? Tickets are going to be expensive, right, for the World Cup?
Yeah, no, but this time, like Ekavit, it is like historically expensive. It's bordering on Super Bowl level expensive in terms of the gap from last time. So, Thai and Turk. I mean, both World Cup and Thai Turk, both were.
Don't worry.
I didn't even know the game was going on. That's how out of it.
I've been looking forward to this game since December.
And winning both.
I've been looking forward to this game since December, bro. Literally, since the last time Thailand played a match, I've been looking forward to this game. But counting down since November, December, man, we really have to win. We really have to win this game. I've been looking forward to March 31st, man, for this game. I can't wait. Hopefully, we win.
Because the Asian Cup is what, next year, right?
Asian Cup is in next year, yes, 2027. So it was actually originally going to be in Saudi, but I think they might move it now, depending on the situation around the world. I don't want to get into too much, but yeah, the situation around the world and everything. I hopefully it clears up by then. But if it doesn't, then probably it'll be moved to like.
It will most likely clear up by then.
Hopefully, you know. But yeah, I mean, we've covered all the football. I think, unless you have anything more to say on something you want to bring up. Do you want to say anything more?
I'm good, man. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Formula 1 is tomorrow, so don't expect any Formula 1 talk today. Don't expect any Formula 1 talk today. Don't expect any discussion on it. We did like briefly, briefly on like a few like a few words about it, like mid show, but that was literally about it. And before that, what tennis? We're not gonna talk about tennis. Nothing else. Straight to NBA basketball. Playoffs are on the horizon. You know, teams are battling out for the playoffs and whatnot. What are you saying, Gustia? Excuse me. What are you saying, man?
Yeah,
It's
look,
big season so far, man. And lots of surprising, lots of ups and downs, man.
we've got Big Five. We got a Big Five. We got OKC. We got Boston Celtics. We got San Antonio Spurs. We got the Los Angeles Lakers. We got the Denver Nuggets. These are the 5 teams I see winning the chip this season. Detroit Pistons, you can't rule them out. But come playoff time, matched up against Boston, I think it's a long day for them. I think Boston Celtics are by far the most complete team in the East. This is like the most championship core of the team they've had since they won the chip. You still have Tatum, you still have White, you still have Brown, arguably the 3 most important players, plus Drew Holiday as well. When they won the championship, you have Peyton Pritchard there as well. You have guys like Sam Hauser, Hugo Gonzalez, Joe Mazzulla with masterful coaching, Coach of the Year worthy coaching, and without Jason Tatum, they exceeded everyone's expectations. I was considered optimistic. I had them finishing in the playoff spot. That was already very rare. I was in the minority, but without Tatum, they were a couple games off the first seed. With Jason Tatum, they may finish second still because the Detroit Pistons are a very good team at the moment. But come playoff time, fully healthy, that Boston Celtics team can hold down their own on every metric. I mean, they beat OKC yesterday, as we talked about, playing OKC's own game, as you said, I have been here. So I look, I think Boston Celtics are the favorites in the East. And then I think, of course, you can't rule out the Cavs or the Knicks. On paper, the Cavs probably have the second best team in the entire league. Harden, Mitchell, Mobley, Allen, Strus. They got depth. They got length, they got size, they got superstars. The Cavs have everything. But their biggest threat will be mentality, will also be their injuries. But there is no reason why the Kenny Atkinson's guys cannot win the championship this season. Their minimum should be the finals. But the Celtics, despite the injuries, and their winning tenacity, their winning ability, their winning mentality, their experience, they are going to beat the Cavs in a playoff series, maybe by a sweep or a gentleman's sweep. Pistons seem to be better. The Knicks, of course, they won the NBA Cup, but Knicks and Cavs seem to be underwhelming compared to where we expected them to be. And then in the Western Conference, yeah, you got your big four. And it could go anywhere. OKC, of course, at the moment, gun to the head, they're the heavy favorites to win the championship, the deepest team in the whole league, the championship. They're getting better, and with the picks that they have, dynasty level dominance perhaps. But the Boston Celtics can go stride for stride. They have their kryptonite in the Spurs. The Spurs, the second seed, who I think are the weakest as a whole team among the contenders. But against OKC, they have the better of OKC. In a playoff series, they would probably beat OKC. And then the Lakers and Nuggets, the 2 best players in the league, Luka and Jokic, respectively, and also their form, especially the Lakers in the last 2 months. Luka, losing his wife and his kids, has been one of the best players in NBA history. So we have it all to play for. I'm looking forward to it. Sorry for that long-winded monologue.
I wouldn't say the last 2 months. I'd say the last 9 games more. Or the last 10.
They're averaging 40, 10, and 10.
10 wins in the last 11. Like that's something that they I think they've improved for sure.
Let me put into context, Kevin. Luka Doncic scored.
That Nuggets ending, by the way. You saw that game. Nuggets,
I get what you're saying.
I don't know why the Nuggets decide to file up 3, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. In March, Luka Doncic scored 517 points. Okay, 517 points. The second highest point scorer scored 396. That's the gap. The gap. So Luka scored in March. Luka Doncic scored 517 points. The second highest scorer, Paolo Banchero, scored 396. Talk about the gap.
That's crazy.
So I'm saying like since March, since Feb, the last 2 months, Luka has been the guy.
For sure. For sure, and you can't discount what he's been doing. Fair play. I can't even knock it as a Celtics fan. But going to, obviously you mentioned about the NBA. Celtics we've just been on a roll. We're
Well,
doing that.
Rafinha out for a month. I didn't interrupt you. Sorry, that's big news.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big blow for Barcelona, man. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, like the Celtics, we've just been we've been on a roll. We've won 5 out of the last 6 games. You know, we're trying to compete for the second seed at the moment. Obviously, Jaylen Brown's out tonight with an Achilles, not Achilles injury, but Achilles what you call precaution. So we're resting him tonight, and Nikola Vucevic has been out. Everyone else is available. At the moment, Vucevic has not really hit the ground running yet for the Celtics. He's not really had a really good game yet. He's had a good game, one good game. He's not had an amazing game. Defensively, he's just been a bit. I don't think he's the guy defensively. Offensively, mastermind. He's playing very well offensively. Defensively is where I question it. But you know what? So far, I can't even knock it. Top four in defense, top four in offense. At the moment, the Celtics are just doing their thing. We're balling out. Hopefully, we can win tonight against the Hawks. You know, we've got a final stretch of games that we're playing a lot of winning sides. So Hawks, we played Hornets, we play the Hawks again, and the Charlotte Hornets again. We play them 4 times. We play these teams 2 times each, and then we play the Heat, who are also on good form. The Bucks are pretty much gone. I think the Bucks are gonna, just pack it up. And Doc Rivers is gonna retire. They're gonna pack it up as a franchise. They're gonna rebuild, reset everything. What else was I gonna say? We still have Pelicans. We still have Knicks. I don't know how many games we have left. Magic. From what I can remember off the top of my head. I don't know how many games we played. Hold on, let me have a look real quick. Yeah, I think we had 9 games left of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, just a couple weeks. Mid-April playoffs are here.
We've got 10 games left. I'm missing one more game. Oh, Toronto, I think. Yeah, we play Toronto as well. So yeah, I've mentioned all the teams we play left. Pretty much every single team's Eastern Conference. We go on one more road trip. And then we have to play the Pelicans at home, and that's about it. That's the only Western team we have left. But you know what? I think we can handle it. I think we've got the team to do it. We've got the energy. We've got the team. We've got the head coach, the players, everything to get to the second seed and maybe compete for the first seed depending on Cade Cunningham's injury. Speaking of Cade Cunningham, man, very unfortunate what happened to him, man. You don't want to see such stuff like that happen in basketball, man. You know what I mean? Anthony Edwards out with an injury as well. Steph Curry. Are we near the end? But what do you think of all this, man?
Yeah, I look. I think obviously the league is. Good luck, man. Impact. But I think the league is in a very precarious but positive position. We're gonna get a play the 4 best players in the league right now: Jokic, Shea, Wemby, Luka are off S tier. I don't think we're fully comprehending this. Of course, we're deciding and debating: is Luka the MVP? Is Jokic the MVP? Is it Shea versus Wemby the top 2? I don't know. I have my views. You have your views. Ekavin has his views here. But whatever our views are, respectively, this top 4 that we have, this is S tier. This is generational. This is an MVP race, and the quality of players we will talk about in the history books. These are 4 guys, especially Luka, Wemby, and Jokic. The irony is Shea just won the championship recently. These 3 are going to go down in history in terms of pure ability, probably top 15 players in history at the minimum. That should be their ceiling. So enjoy that MVP race. It's a shame, of course, that it's being marred with the 65-game rule. But now I'm in the minority here. Of course, I think they should amend the rule. But this is a result of NBA players resting, tanking, not employing the Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant mentality, them just taking it easy. But that's also a byproduct of the NBA not giving players the incentive enough. The same with the All-Star game, right? The incentives are so inverse in the NBA. The All-Star game is supposed to be the hallmark of charity and culture. The hallmark of culture. It's the hallmark of charity in the NBA. Then you have the regular season games. Who cares about the regular season after the first few weeks? The paychecks in the playoffs. Who cares? That's the problem. So the NBA with the 65-game rule, they of course have to remove it, but they have to find a balance. Because if a player plays 50 games, but he is the most outstanding player, then he gets a freak injury like Cade Cunningham, he should still be in an all NBA team. The fact that he is being deprived of it is despicable. It is so unjust and undeserving. But at the same time, you need to prevent, obviously, the resting. I think the solution to that is getting rid of back to backs. That's the solution to that. So yeah, look, and making the incentives more rewarding. So I think with the NBA, we're in an interesting position in terms of the MVP race. I'd love to hear what Ekuban makes of it. I don't know because I keep flipping between the order. I would have said Jokic was the clear favorite come December, but then he got the injury, and then also the Spurs were elevated. Then Shea was just the Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable, giving you 30 every single night. Then I thought Shea had it for a moment, but then Wemby's impact metrics are remarkable. Even though he's coming off the bench and playing 15 minutes a game sometimes, his impact is nuts. But now, after the last 2 months, if I could give an MVP vote, and I did not think I would be saying this year, even though I predicted him at the start, as the season panned out, I didn't think it would be him. I think Luka Doncic deserves the MVP. Because in the last, if you look at it, in the last 10 games, 11 games, Lakers, I think Luka Doncic deserves the MVP this year. In the last 11 games, the Lakers have gone 10 for 1. They're the third seed at the moment. They are 5 games off the second seed San Antonio Spurs. So Luka has the seeding. And not only that, he is averaging 40 points a game in the last 10 games. Across the season, he is averaging 33 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 61% true shooting, and he has 41 wins. And the other metric, the most important metric, this isn't just the best player award. We know Victor Wembanyama's impact stats. They are undeniable. He is a towering figure, one of the best two-way seasons in NBA history. Shea, SGA, is Mr. Consistent. Jokic is one of the most offensively complete and captivating players you ever watch. But the MVP is not just the best player in the world. It is the most valuable player in the world. And not only does Luka have the best points, the best overall stat line, but he has the impact. Luka Doncic, with the NBA the guys in the NBA, I have lost my stats. I am pulling them back up. Sorry, give me a second. The NBA's updated MVP ladder, the top 4: Wemby, Shea, Jokic, Luka. If you look at them when they've played versus when they have not played, Wemby and Shea, when their teams have not had them on the court, their teams have won 66% of the time. So that's 2 in every 3 games that OKC and Spurs have played. Without Wemby and Shea, they have won. The Nuggets, 62% of the time without Jokic, they win games. So 6 in every 10 games that they play without Jokic, they win. Luka and the Lakers, they have a 500 record. They're 50%. So among Jokic, Shea, Wemby, Luka, Brown, and Cade, obviously Jaylen Brown, Luka Doncic is the only one where without him on the court, his team has a 500 or worse record. So I think with that given said, I give Luka Doncic the MVP, most important to his team, and also the stat line, the history that he's making, the form he's on. Luka should be the guy.
Fair enough. I think you're talking about MVPs, right?
Yeah, I went through the contenders and MVPs, and then the issue of the 65-game rule.
I personally think Nikola Jokic should win the MVP, but I think Luka is a close second. Obviously, you mentioned about record, and record does come into play. You're right about the Spurs not having Wemby for a few games, and they've won quite a lot of the games without Wemby. We had Brown out for a few games this season. We won like 3 of them and lost 1 of them, but he's not played like 4 of them. In one of the games that he didn't play, the Celtics lost that game. Remember the game he got ejected versus the San Antonio Spurs for apparent. Yeah, and he got ejected from that game. Yeah, the referee should really be considered, be fired for all that. Awful refereeing in the NBA. You don't want to see that happen in a game like the Celtics versus Spurs, man. Potential finals preview as well. You don't want to see such and such happen. Players getting ejected for having an emotion, like it's just, it's crazy, but. No, I was just gonna say, like, you don't want stuff like that to happen. And with the Celtics, right? We've won only 3 of our games without Brown, and lost 1, because he's only missed like a few games this season. In one of the games that he's missed, we had one of our most impressive wins all season against the Houston Rockets on the road. We destroyed the Rockets without Jaylen Brown. I don't know if you watched that game.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you saw, but we completely destroyed. We completely destroyed. What you call the Houston Rockets. And yeah, that was a good win. Prior to that, we played. Well, not play, but if you look at the Nuggets, they kind of struggled as well without Jokic at times. Obviously, Jamal Murray had to hold down the fort a bit, but look at the numbers Jokic is putting up. Like that day, he had like a 20 rebounds or something, and
Crazy.
20 assists or something, and 40
Against
points.
The Dallas Mavericks.
Bro, like, let's just be honest right now. I think it's got to be Jokic again. And this is not a discredit to Luka.
Sure.
I know the Lakers have struggled, but if you look at the Lakers team without Luka, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the
Good.
That's the thing, I agree with you. In theory, the Lakers have a better team outside of Luka than the Nuggets do outside of Jokic. But objectively, this isn't about theory. This isn't about what's happening on paper. It's about the truth. And this season, the team that has won the most games without their star player among the 4 MVP candidates has been Jokic. Ekavin, the Nuggets have won more games without Jokic than the Lakers have without Luka, than the Spurs have without Wemby. So that's saying something. So I think the problem is in terms of impact. The only one that really missed their star player was the Lakers. Everybody else didn't. They were still able to have a 66% win rate, which is what they currently have anyways.
But what about the Knicks without Brunson? Like, can that be a good example? I'm not trying to say that obviously the Brunson's in there.
It's a good point.
Look at Jalen Brunson. He's not playing. Like, the Knicks struggle without him. Yeah. Obviously, they have good role players like Josh Hart. They have good players like, Jordan Clarkson. He's playing for the Knicks right now, isn't he? And they also have Jose Alvarado.
Yeah.
Yes, they have good role players, but they're less. They've got less power to their arsenal. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that Brunson is very underrated. He has had another very fine campaign, but unfortunately, impact-wise, stats-wise, ability versus like the main metrics, ability, impact, results, and also performances. Brunson has been against these guys. He's definitely bottom of that list. And I mean no disrespect whatsoever. To be in the conversation is impressive, but the top 6 to me, I think, have been your 6 best players this season. Top 6 for me in order: Luka, Jokic, Wemby, Shea, Cade, Jaylen Brown. Those have been the 6 best players this season, in my opinion. Ekavin, I think you would agree with me. Those 6. Should I repeat it again?
Cade Cunningham, Wemby, Jokic, Luka, and
Shea.
SGA, yes. Okay, forget it.
So that's the top 6 for me, and I think Brown, you'd have to put Brown in 6th, just because so good. He is an MVP candidate for sure. But again, the team around him and the impact has not been objectively as high as the other 5 guys. He hasn't been as outstanding.
But you've got to look at objective at the start of the year as well.
Yes, that's a great point.
You have to look at where teams were projected to finish. Look at the Pistons with Cade Cunningham. I didn't think they'd be a first seed caliber team. I think they were going to be a good team. I'm not going to say they were going to be a great team. I didn't think they'd be a great team. I think they'd be a good team. I don't think they'd finish top of the East. But bro, they're on track to finish top of the East right now. They're looking good as well. So they've got good role players. Osara Thompson is playing well. They've got Jalen Duren, who was one of the best big men in the league. So I'm not even gonna knock what they're doing. So fair play to the what's it called to the fucking. I'm gonna forget. What was I gonna say again?
Hey, we gotta lock in. Ekavin, fourth quarter, 2:40 a.m. The tank, the O2 is running out for both of us right now.
It's not my team, Pistons. Sorry, it's not my team, Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, no, I forgot what you were saying as well. Yeah,
Detroit Pistons. We look at the Celtics at the start of the year. You thought, all right, no Jason Tatum. It's gonna be a retool, rebuild year for the Celtics. People thought it was going to be like a rebuild. I didn't think it would be a rebuild year. I didn't think they were going to tank. I didn't think we were going to tank. Joe Mazzulla is not the head coach to tank. You know,
he's the head coach to triumph.
Exactly. You know what I mean? He's a championship caliber head coach. He's won a championship. These players have won a championship. We've got 4 players in that squad, or 5 players in the team who have been through a championship, or have seen a championship. Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Neemias Queta has seen a championship. Even Jordan Walsh has seen a championship. So this is what I'm trying to say. Players that have seen a championship and players that have played in a championship. Jason Tatum, out for potentially the season. Nope, comes back in March. And people are saying we're worse with him. Really? Really? How can the narrative switch up so quick? Though are apparently worse with him. Like, we've lost one game since
baloney, man. Blasphemy.
We've lost one game since Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown played together. That was the Minnesota Timberwolves without Anthony Edwards. That was one bad game. You know?
Exception that doesn't define the rule, right?
Man. And this is what I mean. People switch up so quickly. You know? One minute they say, oh, we're a championship contender team or caliber team. The next minute they're saying we're worse with this and with that. You know? Next minute they're saying break up this, break up that. You know? Tank this. You know? Retool crap. Bro, fucking, I can't even do this, man. At the start of the season, the Lakers were expected to make the playoffs. Luka, fair enough, doing his thing as per usual. I expect Luka to do what he's doing, right? I expect Luka to do what he's doing. Nikola Jokic, I expect what he's going to be doing. Expectation is there. SGA, expect the same. Wemby, much improved year. You could maybe argue Wemby, Jaylen Brown are the 2 most deserving in terms of expectation wise, and where they were projected to finish and what they were projected to do at the start of the year. Because I thought the Spurs were going to have another year missing the playoffs. Potentially. Didn't I say the Spurs were going to make the playoffs, or did I say the Spurs were going to miss the playoffs?
No, we all had them sneaking in 6th.
Sneaking in, right? But then that's it, sneaking in. They're literally right behind OKC.
We had the Spurs and the Lakers finishing in the same area. Spurs, Lakers, Nuggets. So we had the OKC Nuggets as like contenders, then Lakers and Spurs as just sneaking in.
But that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm expected the players that I listed. I expected them to do what they're doing. With Jaylen Brown, there was questions over can he lead a team. Yes, he's won Finals MVP, but this is a different Celtics team. He's done the complete opposite and just completely just destroyed everything. You know. He's just completely gone and destroyed all the odds and just taken the Celtics team to very, very close to first. You know, at the start of the year, we were 0-3 to start the season. Do you remember that? There was the last time the Celtics went 0-3, we missed the
panic
playoffs.
stations. Yeah.
I was like, ooh, is this a tank year for the Celtics for real? Nope. Turns out, no. We won the next 3 games in a row, and that was it. We came back. And then by December, we were lingering on the 500 area, and then and that was about it. We were lingering on the 500 mark, and then after that, we took the lead on the win-loss, and we just that's it. We just completely destroyed
rode into the sunset, right? Just drove into the sunset and never looked back, or didn't ever.
In that run, we beat the Knicks, Cavs, Lakers, Raptors, and don't forget the Raptors were a good team at the time as well. Me speaking, they were like second in the East. We beat those 4 teams in the space of the last 7 games or something. You know what I'm trying to say, Augusta? Yeah. So the run that we went on, the run that Jaylen Brown as it was going on, bro, you have to give credit. And just look at the way we beat OKC yesterday as well. You know? So that just tells you a lot you need to know that the Celtics team is not tanking and will never tank. And now we're exceeding expectations. We're exceeding a lot of expectations from the media. There was people saying Celtics just tank. There were people saying, you know, this and that. You know, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford himself said the Celtics might not compete for a championship this year. Newsflash: look at the Warriors. Look at the Warriors, bro. True. If he stayed on the Celtics, he'd be in a really he'd be in a really comfortable spot in terms of where they are in the league, since we're in the table. Like, this is what I mean. All the doubts that we had to overcome this year. Don't forget, we were snubbed off Christmas game as well this year.
Which is ridiculous. Given the size of your franchise alone, it warrants that. Let alone the fact. Yeah.
It's crazy. Sorry. No, finish your point.
I agree. Given the size of your franchise, you are the franchise team in the NBA alongside the Lakers. It's you two. You're Man United, Liverpool. That's what you are. You should always be there, even if your team isn't as dominant as it once was. By the way, you still have a Finals MVP leading your squad. You still have a title-winning coach leading your squad. So I don't understand what the NBA was doing there, especially having such inferior teams that were just trying to tank on Christmas Day. That was an awful decision for commercial value. Anyways, continue.
No, I was just gonna say and you saw when Tatum came back, the ESPN coverage has been crazy.
Nuts. Even before he came back, it was all about Jason Tatum and when he's gonna come back.
Exactly, and then Jaylen Brown barely got enough of the credit. So that's the thing. Fair play to everyone. Fair play to the players. Fair play to the role players that stepped up. And we're in a comfortable position going into the playoffs. I can't even have any complaints. Obviously, the last few games we've not looked amazing, but the OKC game gave me a bit of hope that this team is still in contention, and hopefully Jason Tatum can drop a big game soon. We need to have a big game soon on his part, and I can't wait for that, man. Hopefully Jaylen Brown should be okay. Hopefully he should play that game, whatnot. But yeah, sorry, excuse me. I wanted to ask. Obviously, there's an NBA team that is on the rise at the moment and is really on. It's really on. It's like a. How do you say it? It's really on the spotlight.
Put everyone on notice.
Yeah, the Charlotte Hornets. Colin Knueppel, he's definitely within the shout for Rookie of the Year now, alongside Cooper Flag. Him and Cooper Flag, two of the best rookies in the league this year. Obviously, next year with more rookies to come. AJ DeBonsta, you got Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, all these guys. You know what I'm trying to say? You've got a lot of these guys. Darius Cuff. So many of these rookies are going to be in the league next year. So the NBA has a really tough choice to select who will be the Rookie of the Year. At the moment, as things stand, I'm still going Cooper Flag. Yes, I know Dallas are not going to make the playoffs, but look at Cooper Flag's numbers. And look at the impact he's had. Because the future of Dallas is bright, even without Luka Doncic. But look at the Charlotte Hornets as well. From very below 500, subpar. They were below 500. Now they're just above 500. Then I got all the way. I think who's the Atlanta Hawks? Who's the Atlanta Hawks rookie as well? This year that they just drafted.
I do not remember who they drafted this year. That is a tremendous question. I do remember
because the Hawks are also on a really good roll at the moment. We're playing the Hawks tonight. The Celtics are playing the Hawks tonight.
I don't know who their rookie was this year, but I thought the contenders would be three people in specific. It would be, of course, Cooper and Knueppel for 1 and 2, and then Edgecombe as well. Maybe he'd be up there.
Yeah, potentially BJ Edgecombe. Yeah.
But of course, they're in a league of their own, and I don't interrupt you, but they have been insanely important to their teams, impactful. Their output has been remarkable, averaging 20s. Knueppel has been the 3-point master. He might even overtake Steph Curry at that. At the current trajectory, he might surpass Steph Curry's record, given the volume of 3-pointers that is increasing year by year basis. And then Steph Curry, obviously, the breaks in his career, bowing out to father time gracefully and peacefully. So, look, I think Flag and Knueppel, they are the guys. And next season, they're going to be stalwarts. Nekavin, as you talked about. I went through the draft the other day with someone that you are very fond, Mr. Tuat Randall, Neil Tekwani. We looked at the draft together the other day, and we saw that there are some, as you mentioned, emerging, rising superstars, unknown, unnamed players today. But tomorrow, they will definitely be there. So the NBA is getting better every year. It's getting more global as well, more access, more abilities, more variety of quality coming into the league. And I think that, hey, Knueppel versus Flag will be a fun ballot. I think whoever it goes, it would be well deserved. It'd be
100%.
deserved.
So far, who's your rookie of the year?
I think it would be. It's tough. Kneppel with the record and the impact, but it has to be Cooper, because Cooper's had that explosion. Yeah, he had that explosion. What was it, 2 months ago? That was nuclear.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. So,
I think his stat line is better, and he's been more efficient with it as well.
what's been your thoughts on the Charlotte Hornets' rise? Because they're on their upwards trajectory at the moment. They're playing really good basketball. They're winning games. They were below 500 a month ago, I think, and then that was
and they won 7-3 in their last 10. They won 5 in a row. They are 2 games off the 5th seed. That's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Hornets are. The Hornets are the Eastern Conference version of the Clippers this season. Because even the Clippers, let's not forget, they were in hell. They were in the depths of hell. They're ascending to the heights of heaven. And at the moment, the Clippers are good. There is a world with how the Rockets are tumbling and how they are ascending. There is a world where they qualify for the playoffs like the Hornets automatically, which would for both teams be an extra.
Oops, I think he's cut off there. I think he's cut off. I'll just continue for a bit. No, I think the Hornets have had a really good start, or not good start, but they've had a really good post trade deadline season. I mean, look, if you look at the way that they've been on the upward trajectory, they've been winning games. They've been, they've been on the rise. I mean, LaMelo Ball's been playing very well. Colin Knuppel, the rookie of the year, been getting a lot of points. Been such a huge impact to the Hornets. I mean, they prior to this, I think they won like a lot of games in a row as well. So it's only credit to the Atlanta. It's only credit to the Charlotte Hornets, also the Atlanta Hawks. They've been playing some really good basketball as well. They've been getting some big results. Obviously they traded Trae Young this season. But if the Hornets can keep up what they're doing next season, and they follow what the Pistons do, and just they go on the rise, and the following year they just finish first in the East. There's a good chance that next year the Hornets can be very competitive, very, very competitive. And I'm looking at Atlanta as well. 2 teams, Charlotte and Atlanta. These 2 teams next year can be a really good threat to the East. Obviously, I still think the main teams will get out of the East because inexperience will still be there. However, I wouldn't put it past Charlotte and Atlanta to make the semifinals because they look like a really good team on the rise. Both of those teams look really good on the rise. So yeah, continue what you're saying, Gustia.
I agree, and sorry, I agree with you completely. Inexperience will of course be a catalyst in preventing them from achieving the heights that they want, championship aspirations for everybody. At the same time, momentum, rhythm. If you can harness those energies and frequencies, momentum is a drug. It is the most deadly and dangerous drug out there. And if you have unlimited, unbridled confidence, borderline arrogance, which this Hornets team does have, which this Clippers team with Ty Lue also has, you never know where the sky can take them. It can take them higher than a team on paper, like the Knicks, like the Cavs, that should be championship contenders, but don't have the morale nor the mastery that the other 2 do. So watch out for those 2 teams. I agree. They are the watch out teams, but I think in the context of the championship, you have to look at competency, you have to look at mentality, you have to look at proactivity, you have to look at superstar quality. By those 4 metrics and the Phil Jackson regular season record wise, the teams that are probably going to win the championship will be one of the 5 we mentioned. Will be OKC, Spurs, Lakers, Nuggets, or Boston Celtics. I would be surprised if anybody else outside that category won the championship this season. And of course, Cooper Flag deserves Rookie of the Year, but it's a 2-way street between him and Kneppel. And then in the MVP race, it's a 4-way fight, but Luka is my top dog. And championship favorites for me, OKC or Boston Celtics at the moment here.
Fair enough. I completely hear you. So you mentioned Rookie of the Year. You mentioned Obviously, I actually with the Charlotte Hornets.
MVP.
No. Coach of the year.
It's between JB or Joe. I'll give it to Joe. They just seem more stable. And expectation was less, output was higher. I'm giving it to Mr. Mazzulla.
I agree. Expectations were in the mud with the Celtics team this year, with the players we had to let go of to dump salary for, and the players we brought in. So at the start of the year, we had Georges Niang as a Celtics player. Then we let him go, and then we brought in, what was it called? We brought in, what was the trade again? Anthony Simons.
Right.
Anthony Simons, we let him go at the deadline for Vooch. And then after that, what did we bring in? Luka Garza, Josh Minot. We drafted...
It's crazy. Almost a rebuild within a season.
We drafted Hugo Gonzalez this year. You know what I'm
Great.
trying to say?
Oh, great draft pick. Great draft pick.
You know what? Call me crazy here. He's an all-rookie first team or second team.
Easily. Of course. That's not crazy. That's truth. That's the truth, yeah.
But yeah, at the moment, like I'm saying, obviously, I'm backing Joe Mazzulla to win Coach of the Year. I'm gonna back my head coach to win it. Next up, we have MVP. I think you mentioned it already. I think we mentioned. Yeah, you said Luka.
Oh, I do not think Luka will win. Luka has the worst PR in the history of the NBA. The fact of the matter is, if any other player, apart from LeBron James, was averaging 34, 8 and 9, that's what Luka's averaging this year, 34, 8 and 9, top 3 seed, and has his team has the worst impact without him on the court compared to his MVP adversaries. They'd be a shoo-in for the MVP. You might even be talking unanimous conversations, but because it's Luka Doncic, for whatever reason, he is fourth in the running. I think his saving grace will be if he continues this historic form, unparalleled form that he deserves a lifetime achievement for, not just a legendary MVP for. But at the moment, it will be either that or also the 65 game count because he has missed the least games. I think Jokic is 1 game away from missing it. Obviously, Cade is out of the running. Shea and Wemby are teetering on it. You never know. They're a couple games off it. Luka has some buffer room. So, look, with Luka, we will see. I think there is a chance with the momentum in the campaign that is building, he can win, but it's looking unlikely. It is looking like Victor Wembanyama will be the youngest ever MVP. And he will be a MVP winner and a DPOY winner in his 3rd ever year, which from a story perspective is absolutely stunning. But Shea would also deserve it being number 1 seed. Jokic, historic in the first half of the season, and he kept up his numbers. So, I don't know. Either of the 4 would be deserving MVPs. That's what I have to say. But I think Luka is the most outstanding.
If Victor Wembanyama wins DPOY and MVP and the championship and final MVP, is this the greatest individual season ever in NBA history? Individual season, not talking about greatest season, individual season by a player.
Of course. Yeah, it would be unanimously up there. I wouldn't say it's the best. We'll have to see his numbers and his impact, but it would be up there. I think the problem with Wemby is his underlying stats were so strong, but there many times this season, even when he's played 15 minutes a game sometimes. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So he's come off the bench many times. So I'm not discrediting it. If anything, it makes it more impactful that he has to play. He can play so little and contribute so legendary. But of course, but given what Luka and Jokic have done, I think they're a tier above Wemby this season.
Fair enough. But I think the MVP will definitely be a non-American.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, that's confirmed.
SGA is not American; he's Canadian. Don't forget.
Yeah, exactly. True that.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, hopefully an American wins it in Jaylen Brown, but that's not going to happen because the PR is not strong enough. Unfortunately, is what it is. No. But yeah, man, that's the MVP, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. You're saying Wemby as well? I'm probably gonna
easy.
Wemby for sure, or Giannis.
No. What Luka's doing on the offensive side historically, Wemby's doing on the defensive side. So Wemby has to be DPO.
Wemby's got both offense and defense. Crazy. So dominant on both sides of the ball.
One of the greatest players. Look, I'm telling everybody, please don't take this MVP race for granted. These four, it would not surprise me if the four ended up as top 15 players ever. At least Luka and Wemby and Jokic are that good. They are that good to be top 15 players ever.
Mm.
Like Luka and Wemby will surpass. I'm not kidding. They will surpass Giannis. They will surpass Harden. They might surpass Kawhi Leonard. They will surpass Kevin Durant. They are the tier above them. Jokic has already surpassed all of them. So watch out. Luka and Wemby could be top 10 players before we know it.
Last but not least, most improved player.
Oh, good question. Who do you have?
Keontae George.
I think he was good last season as well. He improved towards the end of the last season. I'm not sure. Let me check. What are the odds saying?
There's another player. Denny Abdia?
Oh yeah. Sorry. What am I saying? Yes, it would be I would give it to Jalen Johnson.
Okay, that's actually a good.
I would give it to Jalen Johnson. Jalen Duren is the favorite, but he has been good for many years. Jalen Johnson, this season, he's taken the leap from being a second option to an MVP candidate. To, in my opinion, in our next season, our NBA Fantasy League, which of course I've won 7 years in a row, next season he will be a top 5 draft pick. That's how good he is.
Fair enough. But yeah, we've spoken on the NBA playoffs on potentially on the horizon. But we'll get to that in literally a month's time. So we are going to preview the playoffs very, very soon. But I'm going to ask you for your final predictions, all right? Standings 1 to 6 on both 1 to 6 on both conferences.
You missed the joke, by the way.
No, I get what you said. 1 to 6, and then we'll do 7 to 10.
Okay.
Okay. 7 to 10 is pretty much locked in because you look at the teams below 10th place. They ain't gonna catch it. So all right, Eastern Conference. 1st till 6th, and then we'll do 7 to 10 in order.
Okay.
In 1st, I got Detroit. What are you saying?
I don't know. What's your fixture list looking like?
We've got a tough run. We have Charlotte, New York.
Okay, I'll give it you very quickly. Detroit, followed by Boston, followed by New York, followed by Cleveland, followed by the Raptors. Have an easy run though. The Hawks are in form at the moment. Hawks, then Sixers. No, Hawks, then Hornets, then the play-in will be Raptors, Sixers, Magic, and Heat.
No, I got Raptors finishing automatic playoffs. I think Raptors will get it.
Okay, fair. But yeah, so that's the difference we have.
And where you saying Miami Heat finishes?
10th. That was my prediction preseason, and I said, remember, I even said it then. I'll go back when they finish 10th. I said they will make the play-in in 10th. Both of you guys said they won't make the playoffs. I said, nah, trust me, Eric Spoelstra will. That's like a profit-like prediction.
So Detroit, Boston, New York, Cleveland.
Yep.
I think Orlando is slowly climbing up as well, right?
Yeah, but they're 4-6 in their last 10. The Atlanta Hawks are 9-1 in their last 10.
Yeah, we play them tonight, so it's gonna be a tough one.
I think they beat you
at TD Garden.
No, they don't. You never know.
I mean, they beat us last time at TD Garden, but it's time to get our revenge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. But we'll see, man. We'll see. It's gonna be a tough one. I don't know what to call for the 5th spot. I'm probably gonna say Toronto.
Hawks maybe. For me.
Oh no, you're right. But then Charlotte have a good chance as well to climb up into the playoffs.
They do, but Ekevin, you talk about the Hornets form. The Hawks are in way better form.
No, I agree. But Hornets were like 10. They were like on an unbeaten streak, and then they beat yesterday. So I'm probably gonna go with. Okay, do you know what? I'm gonna go Hawks in about 6th. So sorry, Hawks in 5th, Hornets in 6th. I'm gonna go Raptors in 7th.
Yeah, so
6th,
we have the same prediction.
who's in 8th again? Orlando in 8th because they're also getting a few results. Orlando in 8th, Sixers in 9th, and 10th will be Miami. But what's Miami's record looking like right now?
They're 10 games above the Bucks in 11th.
Okay, chilling.
Yeah, chilling. Done. Playing is done.
But yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. And for the Western side, all right, number 1, I got OKC finishing first. What are you saying? OKC finishing first? Yeah.
It's gonna be close. Ekevin is gonna be close. They're 2 games to spare. They both are in the richest vein of form. OKC just lost to you guys. It's gonna be very close, Ekevin. But yeah, I think OKC just edged out OKC, Spurs, followed by Lakers, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Clippers. Yeah, you heard me right. Suns, Rockets, Warriors, Blazers. That's my list.
I got in first. I got OKC. Second, I got Spurs. Third, I actually have Denver.
Fair. Could go either way.
Because don't forget, the Lakers still have to play OKC twice.
Doesn't matter.
And OKC have gotten the better of the Lakers in recent times as well. So, I mean, you never know. I got Nuggets in third, Lakers in fourth. I got fifth was Houston, maybe. No. Sorry, Minnesota. I got Minnesota in fifth, Houston in sixth. Seventh, I have the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are another team that I have written off this year at the start. I thought they might not be good, but you know what? They've exceeded expectations as well. They're definitely a good side, man. Very tough side to beat. Very, very tough side to play against. I'm gonna go Phoenix. Eighth, I'm gonna go with who's in eighth at the moment? Clippers. I'll say Clippers.
I have them finishing in the top 6, by the way.
Fair enough. With another team that I missed out on. Warriors in ninth.
And the Blazers, yeah.
Blazers will be in 10th or 9th. I don't know which team. But I just think
we know the top 10.
No, it just depends on Steph Curry if he returns for the Warriors or not. If he returns, then I think the Warriors will finish 8th. If he doesn't return for the rest of the regular season, then I have the Warriors finishing 10th.
Fair.
Potentially.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the standings. On to the last part of the show. Time has flown. We've got the NBA expansion stuff. I don't know if you've seen the NBA expansion news with the 8-player draft stuff as well. Carry on, bro. Over to you on that one.
So obviously the NBA Board of Governors have announced that they have overwhelmingly been in favor. They have voted in favor of adding 2 teams to the NBA. That would make the NBA have 32 teams. Those 2 teams would be a Las Vegas team and a Seattle team. So we are going to get an expansion, which means, for those who don't know, there will be a draft when those 2 teams come in. So they have players, right? Because it's not going to come into the league with just free agents. That would be a bit unfair. What they will do is they will have a draft where they can pick from all the players in the league that are outside the top 8 best players from each team. So each team will have 8 protected players. Outside of that, it's free game. It's free grab. I know Ekman's talked about his fear of losing players. He's even mentioned that as a Boston fan, he would put Nikola Vucevic into that list. Correct, Ekman? You'd put Vucevic into that list of players. Nikola Vucevic being someone that Seattle or Las Vegas can get. So that's the big update coming from the NBA. And then there's also been an update when it comes to tanking. The update when it comes to tanking is they have discussed 3 different proposals, all of which don't have to do with the lottery tournament, instead have to do with the ceiling and a floor, which is one of the biggest proposals is 25 games all teams must win to be qualified for the first pick. And if they don't get that, they don't get the first pick, which, again, I think that is just delaying the inevitable. After 25 games, all teams will try and stay at 25 wins. They will not try and win more. What you need is the incentive to win. A lottery tournament does exactly that. And a play-in tournament and then a playoffs does that. So the lottery, they haven't hit the right formula there. And then in terms of the expansion teams, well, we're going to have a draft very soon, and we're going to have Seattle, Las Vegas. Welcome to the NBA.
Which team moves to the East? between Minnesota and Memphis. You would have thought, do you know what, Augusta? I was thinking, right? Why isn't New Orleans within a shot to move to the East? Because they're also within that geographical area, right? So I was wondering, why isn't New Orleans in that area? But then you think, all right, Memphis and Minnesota, they're kind of within the timing of the East as well, kind of. Do you know what? For competition purposes, move Minnesota because I want to see Anthony Edwards in the East.
Yeah, it would be good for East parity.
I think you need to move Minnesota for the East. I think if you leave Minnesota in the West, you'll just have Ja Morant in the East and be like, all the. Do you know what would be so funny?
All the Jokers, man. All the Heath Ledgers.
I just clocked. We find out here in the West. Do you remember that quote he made?
Oh shoot! Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, that'd be dope. That would be dope. Yeah.
And then Memphis gets moved to the East. Nah, that'd be funny. But then he could end up leaving as well. I just forgot. But then again, you'd have to keep 8 players. And then
we ain't find out here in the West anymore, Akavin. We ain't find out there in the West, bro.
I think Minnesota goes to the East. I think it'd be fair for competition and parity.
Hell yeah, I agree. Touche.
I think you need that extra bit of competition, but I don't agree with the 8-team draft. Sorry, 8-player draft. I don't agree.
Then what's the alternative? Thrust the team into the league without having any competition? With free agents, they need to have something. 8-team is the fairest because you're not giving up the best players, but you're giving up viable players. Like Vucevic.
If we lose, for example, like a Baylor Shireman, right? So let's lose like a Baylor Shireman or lose like a Ugu Gonzalez, but he doesn't get selected by those teams, then what happens?
And then they stay on your team.
No, but then you have to let go of 8 players. You have to let go of 7 players, I think.
No. It's not that you have to let go of 7 players. This is a good clarification because many people are confused. If I'm not mistaken, this will be great news to you. It's not let go of them. It's you have to protect your top 8 players and everyone else is up for grabs. That's it. They don't leave your team. You don't have to release them as a free agent. What you need to do, Akavin, is you just need to say these 8 players are untouchable. Everybody else can be drafted. And if they don't get drafted, they come back to you.
Okay.
So you're going to be okay. So if Baylor Shireman and Hugo Gonzalez, if they're up for grabs and they don't get picked, they come back to the TD Garden.
No, I mean that's fair, but at the end of the day, it depends who selects them, right? Like for example, if
they probably will be selected.
You know, it'd be so funny if OKC gets moved back to Seattle after all these years, and then they bring in another team.
Yeah, maybe.
They should do that.
But with feasibility and establishment, it wouldn't make sense.
Take OKC back to Seattle, man. They deserve it. They never deserve to get their team taken away from them in the first place. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But yeah, man. And with Las Vegas, you'd expect Las Vegas to be in this. 100%. You'd expect Las Vegas to be in this, bro. Come on, like Las Vegas has been hosting basketball for God knows how long now. NBA Cup games, Summer League games. It deserves a team. Las Vegas is a great place for a lot of players. Do you know what? I think there'll be a lot of Vegas fans right away because don't forget, Vegas is a city where a lot of people love to visit.
I mean, yeah, and sports all the time, right?
Yeah, man.
WWE, WrestleMania back-to-back in Las Vegas. You have F1 there every single year, so it's getting bigger and better there.
For sure, man. I think Vegas, with the infrastructure they have, with the luxury they have over there, they should be okay.
Yeah,
they should be okay. I think they'll definitely get some good players. But what if Ja Morant is the first player they bring in?
He'd have to be a non-protected pick. I'm not sure he would be.
Because don't forget, right? Ja Morant has been kind of wanted to leave Memphis for a while, and what if he goes to like a Seattle?
Then as a free agent, he could do that, but not as someone on a team, probably.
And also Paolo Banchero, Seattle native, could potentially retire there someday.
Who knows?
But yeah, I mean, the expansion is for me. Do you like the expansion? Do you like the idea of it? Because I think I do.
Yeah, so I love it. Mind. Good for freshen up, and also the fact that we will get Minnesota potentially in the East will be very nice.
hope so, man. Would love to play Anthony Edwards 3 or 4 times a season. You know what I mean?
Of course. Oh, yeah.
I think they apparently did a proposed lottery tournament this year.
No. That is not one of the 3 proposals. I hope it is, but it isn't. I went through the 3. I went through the proposals already.
Do you not think that they're gonna do a lottery tournament for teams or?
They should. It's a slam dunk home run, easy layup. I don't know why they're not deciding it. The incentives are the problem. It's not the teams, it's the incentives. Of course, teams should be better with the culture, but still.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, we've spoken a lot about NBA. I guess we'll come back to that very, very soon. I guess if you're free to hop on an NBA shows on Monday nights, I'd be more than welcome to. We can discuss a lot more on those shows. Really brief NBA today. Obviously, there's a lot of teams we can discuss. We can go through. We discussed the standings. We discussed the awards. I think this is the last leg of the show before we get to the playoffs. I guess I think this is the last show of All Out Sports Up before the NBA playoffs start, which I can't wait for, and I'm looking forward to 100%. But yeah, I guess it's been great having you on, bro. And close out with your last thoughts and anything. Oh yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for the F1 show. Yes,
I will see you in 11 hours.
You
gotta get some sleep.
I have to wake up in 3 hours for the Celtics game, bro. So I have to go to
sleep.
Yeah,
well, good. Man, no sleep for us.
Yeah, man. No worries, man. We keep grinding here. People, first and foremost, before you guys head out, hit that like button if you're new around here. If you're watching from Twitter, go over to @ANSports7 on YouTube. Drop a subscribe, drop a follow, and hit the like button. Leave a comment saying that you came from Twitter, or leave a comment saying that you're new to the channel, and I'll always big you up. I'll get your comments. Turn your notification bell on so you don't miss an upload, and you don't miss a live, and you don't miss a video, and all the good stuff. If you want to see my latest clip that Tifosi left a comment in, big up to you, my guy. Tifosi.
Hey, big up. See you. Hey, Tifosi, you're not even like in 11 hours, man. We will be back. See you then. Yeah,
I'll be back in 11 hours, man, for sure. Like Tifosi left a comment in on one of the clips he did on one of the clips he left a comment in the other day. Go check it out. Go leave a like over there. Leave a comment. And also, like I said, people, stay tuned for the Formula One show tomorrow. I appreciate all the support in the last month. In March has been great. We're 3 days away, guys. I know it might not be possible in 3 days to get to 600 subscribers, but we are 27 subscribers away. Let's get as close as we can. Before the second or third week of April, we should be at 600 by then. Hopefully. Come on, guys. You already know the drill. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Augustia, great show as always, man. Great All Out Sports Talk show. And any United shows soon I'll be doing very, very soon. Stay tuned to that, people. And yeah, stay tuned for the Formula One show tomorrow. See you all soon. Take care, people. Have a good night. Like, share, subscribe. Come on, United. Go Celtics. Love. Any last thoughts again, real quick, before we go?
Nope. Beautiful show. We will be back soon. All Out Sports this summer. Enjoy it. One of the greatest summers of all time. Let's make the most of it here.
For sure, man. For sure. Peace, people. Take care. Stay tuned for videos and clips. Love. Good night.